Jimbo Fisher brings his Florida State Seminoles on the road for the first time this year. His star quarterback on the sideline with a shoulder injury. That'll put the pressure on a redshirt freshman quarterback, Clint Trickett. Dabo Swinney coming off maybe his biggest win as head coach at Clemson with a victory over Auburn a week ago. He's got a lot of speed and some great freshmen on the field for the Clemson Tigers. There'll be 83,000 in Death Valley, clad in orange and purple, as the Tigers and the Seminoles in a key ACC battle coming up from Death Valley. Welcome to ESPN's College Football, presented by Cars.com. A sun-drenched day in Clemson, South Carolina. Number 11 Florida State against number 21 Clemson. It looks like good old-fashioned Southern hospitality when you see the beginning of that. Clemson welcomes you, and then you get the back end to Death Valley, where a lot of teams have gone down to defeat in the ACC. Welcome, everybody. Brad Nessel along with Todd Blackledge. This is not only an ACC game, it's an Atlantic Division game. Virtually, you win this, you've got a two-game lead in your half of the division in the ACC. And partner coming in, Florida State's coming off a tough loss to number 1 Oklahoma, and they're banged up.
They are banged up, but I think they come in a confident football team because last week they played the number 1 team in the country nose to nose and had a great chance to win. I think for them to win today, Clint Trickett's going to be fine. I think he'll play well. The defense has to keep playing the way they've been playing, and the offense has to figure out a way to run the football. I think if they hit 125 yards or better, they got a great chance.
You know, being around here for the last 2 or 3 days, the big question at Clemson is, can they handle the fact that they won a big game? A lot of times in past years, they win a big one, then they take a dip.
Well, Taj Boyd, their quarterback, was magnificent last week. He's got to be a game manager and a decision maker in this one. The good news, so many of their best players are young pups. They don't know that Clemson's not supposed to play great 2 weeks in a row. I think that helps them. Well,
those are the questions we'll get answers to as we get set for this ACC battle. Can Florida State bounce back from a disappointing loss to the number 1 team in the country? On the other hand, can the Clemson Tigers handle prosperity after beating Auburn a week ago?
And I couldn't think of a better place to end the street in Death Valley, South Carolina, baby.
I can't think of a better place than the ACC on ESPN. Next.
There is no place better than Clemson, South Carolina on game day. I mean, it's a town of 12,000, and it swells to 100,000 people, and I mean, they are rocking.
Thousands of fans screaming, you walking up to the Rock, and there's no other feeling like it. This place is unbelievable.
You don't have to be a player to get the feeling. At the top of the hill, they touch the Rock. And then the stadium rocks with it. Not many better scenes anywhere in college football. House, perfect day. Sunny in the 80s. Jimbo Fisher's team on the road for the first time this year. And again, in his second season as the head coach, he's got a tough road to hoe today because of injuries. With more on that, let's check in third member of our team, Holly Rowe. Holly.
Well, guys, we told you about their quarterback. E.J. Manuel is out with an AC joint sprain. Now, I talked to Jimbo Fisher, and he said, you know, he got close. He was doing some stuff towards the end of the week, but I'm just not going to risk that kid's health. So he's here on the sideline. But, guys, they have some other situations. Miraculously, Kenny Shaw, the young man who was carted off the field against Oklahoma last week, is back and has been cleared to play. The coach said would probably be able to use him a lot today. Burt Reed, their great receiver, warmed up, but they're not sure if he'll be able to play or not. But their starting quarterback, Greg Reed, he was noticeably limping. He hurt his knee in the first series against Oklahoma last week. But the good news, his backup, Mike Harris, has been productive. In fact, Coach Fisher told us in 39 plays last week, 36 production points. So don't expect a drop off there.
All right, Holly. Clemson won the toss and deferred. So that means Florida State, with their redshirt freshman quarterback at the controls, will be on offense first. Spencer Benton will tee it up. Lamarcus Joyner and Carlos Williams will stand on the other end. Atlantic Division game. Clemson 3-0. Florida State 2-1. From Death Valley, we're underway. Deep kick to the corner. And this will be a touchback. Todd, you've been in situations where you go on the road playing quarterback. Got to have a few butterflies right now if I'm him.
Absolutely a few butterflies, but this guy is a very confident young man. I mean, he's very sure of himself, and the difference between this week and last week, he had a whole week of practice. It wasn't like he was thrown in like he was last week. He's had a chance to run with this first team, and I think he will play with some poise this afternoon.
A coach's son with confidence, maybe on the edge of cockiness.
Yep.
They're going to start off with Chris Thompson in the Wildcat. He'll take the direct snap, trying to get a running game going. That's something they haven't been able to do this year, but they do on the opening play. Almost a 12-yard pickup.
Yeah, they're going to run this with Thompson and Devontae Freeman, a freshman back. Those two guys will run the Wildcat. Again, take some pressure off the young quarterback by establishing some success running the football. They come into the game averaging under 100 yards a game. That's not good enough to win. And especially with a young quarterback, they've got to hit 125 yards or better today.
They only had 27 yards on the ground against Oklahoma. Now Trickett's in the shotgun, but he's got more breathing room, and he's away from that end zone a little bit further at the 33-yard line. Trickett in the pocket, fires, and he throws a dart to midfield and beyond and into Clemson territory is Christian Green. A 21-yard pickup.
See, Clint Trickett can throw the football. He's not as big, he's not as physical or as fast as E.J. Manuel, and he's not going to be the running threat from the quarterback position that Manuel is. But he can throw the football. And that was a beautiful throw for his first one of the game.
So already the Noles in Tiger territory, the 46-yard line. And again, the Seminoles in the Wildcat set with Chris Thompson, their starting tailback, taking the direct snap and going straight ahead. And this time, Clemson does a nice job defensively, pickup of only about 3.
Because Trickett is not coming out of the game, it's the same personnel in the game. Clemson's not sure when they're going to line up in it. So that's the second time in 3 plays that they've given it. That's Rick Trickett, the offensive line coach, one of the most respected line coaches in all of college football. This has got to be a double-edged sword for him today.
Yeah, his offensive line's trying to keep his son from getting killed. That's basically what's happening here.
And keep his wife happy with him. You know,
Exactly.
that's the tough part.
Second down and 8. 4 wide receivers for Trickett as he directs traffic at the Clemson 44-yard line. In the pocket again, fires for a first down to the tight end. The freshman Nick O'Leary, a pickup of 11.
They really like this Nick O'Leary, a true freshman out of Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. And they just said, when we talked to their coaches yesterday, they said the guy just knows football. He understands, he gets it, he's smart, he plays fast. A lot of times, true freshmen, they don't play as fast as they are because they're thinking so much. Football comes very naturally to them.
I don't know if his golf game is as good as Grandpa's, but Jack Nicklaus is his grandfather. First down, the 33-yard line. Trickett under center for the first time. And he'll drop the throw again. And again, right down the middle and complete. This is just pitch and catch right now. Rodney Smith for another Seminole first down.
Well, they've got the balance. See, they did not have good balance last week. You mentioned 27 yards rushing. Now, that's a little skewed because they were sacked 6 times by Oklahoma, and that takes yardage away. But they've got balance right now. Running the football and passing the football on early downs has this Clemson defense back on their heels a little bit.
Lonnie Pryor will be the fullback in front of Thompson as we see a more traditional Florida State look with an eye backfield. with the ball just tucked inside the Clemson 20-yard line. Opening drive of the ball game, and the Noles have moved it all the way down in the red zone. Thompson busts free and gets inside the 15 to the 13. Rashad Hall with a tackle, but another pickup of 6, and the ground game is working.
Yeah. Now this is a Clemson defense coming into the game that is 110th in the nation in stopping the run. So even though Florida State has struggled, that's why they're trying to attack with the running game, because Clemson has struggled stopping the run. They struggled last week, and they have not been a fast starting defense. Last week they gave up a couple quick touchdowns to Auburn in that game.
Clemson has allowed 225 yards a game through 3 weeks. There's Kevin Steele, the defensive coordinator, looking for a stop here from his defense on second down at 4. And again, Thompson, the tailback, will take a direct snap. 2 tight end set on second and 4. And this time Clemson is there to meet him, in fact to greet him for a yard loss. Jonathan Willard, the outside linebacker, and Malachi Goodman combine on the tackle.
Nice job coming down the line of scrimmage, not getting too far up the field on that rush by Willard, and making the tackle for a short gain.
Here's the biggest play of the opening drive so far. Third down at 4. Florida State's been very good on third down this year. They've only gone 67 yards. This is the 8th play of the drive.
Again, keep an eye on the tight end, O'Leary, number 35. He's up here at the top of the screen.
In a 2 tight end formation. Trickett pressured, throws, and incomplete. This time a little bit of heat on him. Tried to throw the out down to Christian Green, and it's incomplete. Rennie Moore from the inside got some penetration for Clemson, and they stopped the Noles drive.
Rennie Moore's a little shaken up. Looks like his left shoulder is bothering him a little bit coming off the field, but he got quick penetration right into the lap of Clint Trickett. And again, Trickett was sacked 5 times last week against Oklahoma, and that's too quick a pressure to give up.
This guy is Mr. Automatic. He's hit 13 straight field goals. The streak started against Clemson and Tallahassee last year. Make it 14 straight. 3 points for the Noles on their opening march that took a little over 4 minutes. 3-0 Seminoles here in Death Valley. Good looking opening drive for Florida State. Well executed. 67 yards in 9 plays to get the field goal from Dustin Hopkins. Clint Trickett talking upstairs. And now it'll be Dustin Hopkins to kick off. That is Sammy Watkins back deep with Jerron Brown. Watkins, a sensational freshman, dangerous as a return man, a receiver, and a runner. And this one will come out to the 20-yard line. Last week against Auburn, Clemson was sensational, unbelievable on third down. At one point, 10 straight third down conversions. 3 touchdowns on third down, as a matter of fact. You see the average conversion yardage.
Yeah, it was it was a masterful offensive game. 624 yards, 32 first downs. But you know what? This is a much different animal in this Florida State defense. I mean, it's going to be very difficult for Clemson to duplicate those kind of numbers this week. Taj Boyd, the main thing for him is not try to match those numbers, but be the same kind of decision maker and game manager and take care of the football the way he did a week ago.
You saw the second highest total. Only Charlie Whitehurst had a bigger game yardage-wise. And here's Taj looking to throw on first down. Almost threw it right into Vince Williams' hands. In fact, did. The middle linebacker for Florida State.
You're talking about a defense here in Florida State that comes into the game 5th best in the country, and that's after playing Oklahoma and their explosive offense a week ago. They're fast, they're physical, and they're very talented, particularly up front in their defensive line.
Second down and 10. Dwayne Allen, the tight end, in motion. And it's Ellington on the handoff. And Ellington has been battling a little bit of a hamstring problem since last week's game, but looked okay in practice this week, picked up 3.
So here's the first third down of the game now for Clemson's offense. And the guys you have to be most aware of rushing the passer are Brandon Jenkins, number 49 at one end, and Bjorn Werner, the other defensive end, number 95. Those 2 guys are outstanding pass rushers.
Third down and 7. And they'll empty the backfield. So it's Taj Boyd all by himself, and here comes the blitz. Over the middle, he throws complete, and is it going to be a first down? I think so. DeAndre Hopkins, did he get enough? Looks like it. And they have the chant of Nuke.
Yep.
They're not booing DeAndre, his nickname Nuke. And a first down, so 1 for 1.
Yep. Boyd has a great feel for Hopkins. They have great chemistry together, and watch what Hopkins does. As soon as he catches it, he knows he doesn't have the first down right at the catch, and he turns straight upfield. He doesn't dance. He doesn't try to outrun the defense.
Well, the Tigers right at the 30-yard line. They fake the end around. Loading and going long is Boyd. Got a man out there. It's going to be interference, I think. There it comes. Xavier Rhodes diving at the ankles of Martavius Bryant.
That is right to script for Chad Morris, the offensive coordinator. Within the first 5 plays of the game, they're going to take a shot on you down the field.
Pass interference. Defense number 27. Interference 15 yards to the previous spot. Automatic first down.
And you know, Todd, I think they get this if he doesn't pass interfere.
Well, Martavius Bryant is 6'5", and he may be the fastest guy on the team. Another one of those talented true freshmen. He only has 2 catches on the season, but for 95 yards, so he's a big play guy.
So first down by penalty at the 45-yard line. This is Clemson's opening march. You're just joining us. Florida State got a field goal out of their opening offensive set. Boyd throws on the run out to Watkins. Watkins with a stiff arm, and down the sideline he goes. Whoa, what a stiff arm. And what a freshman. First down, Clemson.
He does not look like a freshman physically. He's a solid 205, 210 pounds. He doesn't play like a freshman. He plays with maturity. And you see the explosiveness after the catch, the stiff arm, and then the burst of speed against a very fast defense. Now, this is a Florida kid, one of several on the Clemson team out of Fort Myers. Obviously a big game for him against the Noles.
Pickup of 20. See what he did a week ago with 10 catches and 155 yards. And now it's Boyd on the option, and Taj has got another first down. He got planted the end of the play by Mike Harris, but an 11-yard run.
The way for this offense to keep building and keep growing is for Taj Boyd to become more of a factor in the run game. He ran it a handful of times last week, some by design, some off a scramble. This was a designed read and keep by the quarterback, and that just gives this defense one more thing to be concerned about and worry about. Now, the only thing about that is he's got to learn to slide a little better.
At the 24-yard line. Clemson on the move offensively. That's Allen, the tight end, again in motion. And now they fake the fly sweep and go inside Ellington, and he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage by Jernigan.
This offense, very, very similar to the offense we saw Cam Newton and Auburn run with Gus Malzahn, the offensive coordinator. Malzahn and Morris are very close. A lot of moving parts, a lot of motion, a lot of misdirection. There's always fakes of wide receiver screens, and it's very important as a defense to keep your eyes in the right place and not get fooled looking at something you shouldn't be looking at.
Second down at 10 now. With Boyd in the shotgun, set to fire. His pocket holds for him, and he throws a strike to Watkins. Touchdown. Taj Boyd with his 11th touchdown pass here in week 4. Todd, they're picking up where they left off last week.
Absolutely. The big play guy, Watkins, and Taj Boyd right on target.
Extra point is good. That's the way you open things up.
Absolutely.
On your home field.
Watkins, the outside receiver, is going to go right into a void in the middle of the Florida State defense, and there's nobody at home. I'd say you want to know where number 2 in orange is every play.
ESPN's College Football is presented by Cars.com, where confidence comes standard, and in part by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Dabo Swinney in the Tiger Walk before the game today. His team walked right down the field on Florida State, 80 yards to take a 7-3 lead, courtesy Sammy Watkins again, the sensational freshman, on a 24-yard touchdown pass. Here's Spencer Benton's kick. And out of the back of the end zone. Before the Noles go to the 20-yard line, let's check in with Reese Davis. Reese.
Brad, a lot of things going on right now on ESPN2. Some seeing it on ABC. Colorado and Ohio State. Jordan Hall has scored a touchdown. They're about halfway through the first. Oklahoma State and Texas A&M and Kyle Field, most watching on ABC. Ryan Tannehill has a 65-yard touchdown run. Pokes have answered with a field goal. And on ESPNU, kickoff has been delayed a little bit because of lightning, but the Canes getting ready to come out of the tunnel.
All right, Race, keep us posted. First down, Florida State. Their second offensive series. Trickett under center from the 20-yard line. Here's the stretch play to Thompson. And Clemson there to meet him. Might have eked out a yard. That's it, though. Tarico Hawkins and Malachi Goodman on the tackle. Clemson not only a lot of speed on offense, but they've got it on defense as well.
They really do. The thing that Clemson does not have on defense right now is a lot of depth. They've got good frontline players, some high-quality players, but the next guys in line, for the most part, are really young, inexperienced guys, and that's why they've given up a lot of big plays through the first 3 games of the year.
They got 42 freshmen and redshirt freshmen on their roster. That bodes well for years to come. Will it be good enough for the present? Right now they've got the lead. Trickett fires complete. Out to Rashad Green, another freshman for Florida State, but only about a 3-yard gain. So here's Florida State with another third down.
The thing about both of these defenses and defensive coordinators, when they get you in a third down situation like this, I wouldn't be surprised to see Clemson right now and Kevin Steele, their coordinator, show a look to Clint Trickett that's really confusing. Maybe everybody's standing up, nobody with their hand on the ground, lots of movement to try to confuse where the pressure might be coming from.
Last time, Rennie Moore on third down got some pressure on Trickett and forced the incompletion and subsequently the field goal. Right now, Clemson showing 7 guys up front. Trickett flares it out. It's complete, but not a first down. O'Leary makes the catch, but a nice open field tackle by Cody Sensabaugh.
Well, Jonathan Meeks, the safety, came on an inside blitz, and Trickett had to get rid of the football. Watch number 5. He's going to come in and get a clean shot at the quarterback. So Trickett has to get rid of it quickly, and he makes a nice throw, but Sensabaugh with a good tackle in space short of the first down.
So a punting situation for the first time today, and that's Sean Powell, who's the #1 punter in the Atlantic Coast Conference with his first kick coming up. And a great kick. Hopkins has to backpedal all the way to the 17. And Hopkins run out of bounds after about a 5-yard return. We'll return in a minute to Death Valley with the Clemson Tigers in front 7-3 here in the first quarter. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Great scene here at Death Valley in Clemson, South Carolina, where the Tigers lead. Tonight on ABC, Saturday Night Football. This will be a dandy. #2 LSU taking out 16th ranked West Virginia. Presented by Southwest Airlines. 8 o'clock tonight. LSU, their 3rd ranked opponent in a row. Tough place to play. Big game tonight on ABC. Here it's Clemson with the lead and the ball for the second time. And Ellington up the middle with his best run so far today. A pickup of 8.
I'll tell you, that's a great sign for Clemson fans because there was some question about Ellington's hamstring. He tweaked it in the second half of the Auburn game a week ago, and he looked sharp and explosive coming off the ball right there. It didn't look like anything that was slowing him down. That's a good sign for Ellington.
And a good gain and a second down and short situation you want to be in. Watkins in motion straight ahead to Ellington again. And he's got a first down. Pickup of 3 as we check in with Holly.
Well, you know, we were able to talk with Taj Boyd yesterday, and he's very proud of his roots. He grew up in Hampton Road, Virginia, and those are some of the most fertile grounds for outstanding quarterbacks. He grew up watching the likes of Allen Iverson, who was a high school legend, the Vic brothers, of course, Ron Curry, all of those guys. And he said, you know, I'd love to become the next name in that. He's taken great inspiration from those guys, and he said, look for me to use my legs more, be a little bit more like him today. We've already seen it.
That's a hotbed. Aaron Brooks, Tyrod Taylor, all those guys that Holly just mentioned. Now here's a fly sweep, and it's Watkins on the run. And good job by Florida State staying at home. Mike Harris made the hit.
Well, interestingly enough, if E.J. Manuel wouldn't have gotten hurt coming into this game, you'd have two starting quarterbacks that are from Virginia, and all these Florida talented kids and South Carolina talented kids, both teams with a starting quarterback from the state of Virginia.
E.J. hurt last week, as Holly told you.
Third-degree sprain of his shoulder, his non-throwing shoulder. Did it on a running play against Oklahoma. Boyd snaps one out complete to Watkins. And he's going to be short of the first down, but a nice catch and a good move to turn and get extra yardage.
When a quarterback is comfortable in the pocket and confident, his vision improves. And right now you can see it. I saw it with Taj Boyd watching him on tape last week, and I'm seeing it already. The ball is coming out of his hands so quickly. He knows where he wants to go with the ball. He's 4 for 5 so far, but he's not holding on to it very long.
Here's short yardage, third down and a yard. Straight ahead and bouncing outside, but losing yardage is Andre Ellington. That's going to be no gain on the play. So it's fourth down and a yard.
Big Cameron Irving, number 98, really bottled that thing up on the inside. I mean, he just created a pile. I think you got to punt the football. Again, out of respect for this defense, they just stoned you on 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do anything. It's still a redshirt freshman quarterback making his first start. Punt the football and give your defense a long field to defend.
Dawson Zimmerman set to punt. There's his season numbers. He'd like to knock one inside the 20 here. Rashad Green waits on the other end. Oh, and he just got it away, and he hung a beauty.
Comes the flag.
Florida State was coming after him. LaMarcus Joyner, I think, is the guilty party. Good for a first down.
Very costly penalty. You know, a week ago, Florida State only had 6 penalties for 57 yards, but a couple of them were really critical. One called back a touchdown. Well, this one negates a great stop on 3rd and short and gives Clemson a fresh set of downs and the football right around the 50-yard line. Just a poor mistake by a very good player. LaMarcus Joyner is one of the best players on this Florida State team.
He tried to put the brakes on, but he got himself so extended that he couldn't stop before it hit the punter's leg. So one of the top defensive backs in the ACC with a mistake there.
Look for Clemson to take a shot down the field right now.
Boyd fakes it and now takes the shot downfield. Got it. Inside the 5 is Hopkins. 50-yard bomb right on the money.
And you see all that motion, guys faking, guys going in front of the quarterback, behind the quarterback, and then a beautiful throw by Taj Boyd. But after the mistake on the special teams by Florida State, go for it right here. Great protection. And Boyd, again, so comfortable and confident, and delivers a perfect throw to his buddy Hopkins.
Longest play allowed by Florida State all year. First and goal, Clemson. Here's the toss. Ellington puts his head down. Did he get there? At about the 1-foot line.
It's a critical time right now for Florida State's defense. Last week against Oklahoma, Oklahoma had 5 red zone opportunities and only got 1 touchdown. Florida State came up with 2 huge goal line stands, but the big difference, that was at home with the crowd noise in their favor. Right now, they're on the road, and Clemson is putting the foot to the metal right here.
Remember, you got a quarterback that weighs 225 pounds, too, and has good wheels. But they bring in the fullback in front of Ellington. Second and goal, Clemson.
Like to run behind 30, deal.
It is the quarterback for the touchdown. Taj Boyd has thrown one, and he sneaks in for 1. Wow, another good-looking drive by Clemson. Mark Stoops, the defensive coordinator, looking on, and now his team down 14-3. Extra point is good. Clemson faithful are starting to believe here in the first quarter with 1:54 remaining. Clemson 14-3. Well, after 3 trips to Clemson over the years, this week's Expedia Taste of the Town takes us to another part of the ACC with my partner.
Monroe Udell was born in Stamford, Connecticut, but his family moved to South Florida shortly after World War II. In 1956, at the age of 28, he opened up this place, Jackson's Ice Cream Parlor and Restaurant. Now, the food here is very good, but what it's known for is ice cream. Over 40 flavors and all homemade right here.
tell you what, that looked good about now. It's about 85 degrees out here.
You'd have to eat it fast.
You would, or did it melt? We'll see what Mr. Blackledge had to eat. And there's Todd Boyd talking to his offensive line. 77 yards in 8 plays. And this time it's a 1-yard touchdown by the quarterback, who is red hot over the course of the last couple of weeks.
He was so impressive when we sat down with him yesterday as a person. He just has a real presence about him, and he is a guy who is feeling it right now.
Got one of those smiles that lights up the room when he walks in it, and he's smiling right now. But we got a long ways to go, and it's number 11 Florida State that's here. And we know that they can score in a hurry as well. Spencer Benton will tee it up. LaMarcus Joyner, who had that key penalty on the running into the punter, along with Carlos Williams, the 2 guys back deep. Neither kicker has allowed any returns so far. This one, maybe. Carlos Williams, 1.5 yards deep, and he's got a little bit of a seam and popped it out close to the 30-yard line. Well, let's take you where Todd went for dessert without dinner.
They have all kind of creations here at Jackson's, but the signature dish is the kitchen sink. Now, it starts with 4 flavors of ice cream. I chose Oreo, crunchy peanut butter, black cherry, and mocha chip. Then it's covered with homemade hot fudge and strawberry sauces and topped with whipped cream, bananas, nuts, and cherries. Where are the Blackledge boys when I need them?
He got help, folks, but it wasn't from his sons. It was the rest of the crew, and it took us quite a while. Trickett, flush from the pocket, throws a crossing pattern and got it out. A pickup of about 6. Well, it's going to be the 55th anniversary coming up down there.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a special place now.
It really is. I mean, it was one of those places. It's so fun to find unique places. And, of course, Monroe was a unique character, and he's been going at it. You know, there's a second place in Dania Beach to ever get air conditioning. The movie theater was first. Jackson's Ice Cream was second, and all the ice cream was outstanding. Just a great group of people, and one of those real special places to find when you're in the ACC.
You can follow Todd on Twitter at TasteTownTodd, by the way. I like the crunchy peanut butter ice cream. That was just 4 of the kinds you had in it. Here's a direct snap to Thompson. And Thompson's got a first down and a little bit extra. Nice run, pickup of 8. Let's check in with Reese.
Brad, give you a Taco Bell studio update. Syracuse and Toledo in overtime, tied at 30. That's where the Cuse's Kevin Cond is able to pick off Austin Danton in the end zone. From there, Ross Krautman would kick the winning field goal. Syracuse 3-1 now, 2 of the victories coming in overtime.
Here, 14-3, Jermaine Thomas in the lineup at tailback for the first time for Florida State. Lonnie Pryor, the fullback, in motion. They fake it to Thomas. Trickett loads. Goes deep middle and in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, who had a play on it. That was, again, the tight end, Nick O'Leary, incomplete.
Yeah, Trickett did a nice job of buying himself some time with a little movement in the pocket, but then wasn't able to make the accurate throw. O'Leary had separation from the linebacker covering him, and it would have been a big chunk play for Florida State, but Trickett a little wide with the throw.
Waning seconds of the first quarter. A second down at 10. Clemson's defense will be bringing some pressure this time, you would think. Here they come. Trickett fires high, incomplete. Christian Green, the intended receiver, but way over his head.
And right now, Clint Trickett needs to just relax and not panic. There's a lot of football to be played. We're getting ready to end the first quarter, but there's 3 full quarters of football to be played, and you're not going to make up 11 points in one play. When you have a second and long, you're thinking try to get part of it back so that you have 3rd and 4 or 5 instead of 3rd and 10.
In this case, that's what we've got. 3rd and 10.
Look at the confusion. Everybody's standing up right here. They're trying to give him a look that they're not going to know where the pressure's coming from on the rush.
How about that answer from the crowd? Trickett Dances around and fires deep. Got a man out there, and he's got him. Touchdown. What a throw to Rodney Smith. 57 yards. That'll quiet the Clemson crowd and ignite the Noel faithful that are here. We said, don't worry, he's got a pretty good arm despite the fact he's a thin guy, but he let that one fly right on the money.
Typically, you don't like a quarterback to throw deep down the middle that late in a play, but because it was single coverage and the protection was outstanding, he got away with it.
Bought himself some time by rolling a little bit to the left and then threw back across the field, and Florida State just like that. We said they can score in a hurry. They've tightened the game back to 14-10. Career-long catch. Let's take a look at it again.
Well, it's a great job of the line of kind of turning the protection and just bungling all those guys right up in the middle. And Trickett, as you mentioned, moved to his left. There was no outside pressure, and he was able to see clearly down the field and get it to his tall receiver, Rodney Smith, who had a step on his man, Darius Robinson.
Rodney Smith, 4 catches for 121 yards last year against Clemson, and now a 57-yard catch, his career long. Let's put him right back in the thick of this one, 14-10. There's some pretty good fireworks here in the first quarter, huh?
You know, last week, Clint Trickett came in under duress with the injury to Manuel and threw a huge 56-yard touchdown pass on a 3rd and 28 play to Rashad Green to tie the football game at 13. And that one wasn't 3rd and 28, but that was a big-time conversion on 3rd down.
A lot of excitement on the sideline. Jimbo Fisher came over and yelled at his wide receivers, "They can't cover that, guys. Let's keep it up." And then Clint Trickett ran over to his offensive line and said, "Great job, guys. If you can keep giving me little time like that, we'll do that all day."
And then added, "Thanks, Dad."
Yeah.
What a first quarter here in the ACC. Dustin Hopkins set to kick to Jerron Brown and Sammy Watkins. There's Sammy Watkins, who's already electrified us with a touchdown catch this afternoon. And the kick is going to go to him at the goal line. Watkins just across the 20, and that's it. Nice coverage that time by the Noles. Quarterbacks so far, both playing well.
Yeah, they're both playing very well. I mean, they're seeing the field. They're making good decisions with the football. And right now, for the Florida State defense, they've got to kind of figure out a way to make Taj Boyd a little uncomfortable. They have not been able to get any pressure on him. They've not knocked him to the ground yet in the ball game.
Remember, the drives by Clemson have gone 80 yards in 7 plays and 77 in 8 plays. See what they can do here with their 3rd possession at their own 21-yard line. Ellington trots in there to be in the backfield with Boyd. Taj is going to keep it and slides this time, even though it's head first. Does a nice job of getting down.
See, that's not a huge run. That's not a Cam Newton type run, but it's a win for the offense, and it makes that defense worry about something else.
Heck of a first quarter. 14-10 Clemson. Now, Tony Stewart came up with a big victory in the opening race of the Chase, stamping himself as a contender. Now, points leader Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Jimmy Johnson looking to answer back this weekend. The Chase continues. Sylvania 300s at New Hampshire tomorrow. Coverage starts 1 o'clock Eastern with a NASCAR countdown presented by Napa. We've had a NASCAR race going on here. We're on pace for 1,200 yards of offense in this game. If you like offense, you're in the right place. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our ESPN crew, Clemson, South Carolina.
The guy that hasn't done anything yet is Dwayne Allen, the tight end. He's due.
Throw intended for Allen and completes. And he is rated as one of the best in the country at his position.
He's a matchup problem. I mean, he's big at 6'4", 255 pounds, and he's fast enough to outrun most linebackers. He had 7 catches a week ago, including an acrobatic touchdown in the back of the end zone. They got to try to get him involved a little bit. They've done a nice job throwing to the wide receivers, but he's a real threat on the inside.
See if they can convert the 3rd down. They've been good on that so far today, like they were a week ago. Boyd pump fakes, and he's going to run with it. Taj has got the first down and gets down at the 36-yard line.
That's a big-time play. Now, we've already seen Taj run the ball 3 times tonight. 2 by design, and that was a scramble. But it's a great decision to run. Florida State is running in coverage. They leave a big void in the middle of the defense, and anytime you can convert a third down against a high-caliber defense, you take it. That's a great decision by Boyd.
As you see, with another first down, they stay with the no-huddle offense. And it's Boyd with a quick throw, a little bit low, but caught by Hopkins at the 39. Pick up a 4. Taj Boyd, we talked with him yesterday, and we said, are you going to become more involved in the running game? He said, yeah, I think the more I get to know the offense, and Chad Morris, the offensive coordinator, said the same thing. Also, he's a little bit heavier back in spring ball. Yeah. His teammates had a nickname for him that I'm not even going to say because I like Taj a lot, but he has slimmed down a little bit, and he's got his quickness back. Anthony McLeod is the injured player right now. 100 pass attempts. That's good. That's great, in fact, for Taj Boyd. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, Brad, I'll say it because it was kind of mean, but they call him Fat Boy very lovingly. So when I went up to Taj last night and I said, why do they call you Fat Boy? He's like, well, I was getting up there a little bit, but he's lost about 10, 15 pounds. He is definitely not fat. There's a big, rib protector around him. But his teammates just love to tease him. He's running pretty good out there. No Fat Boy down here.
Yeah, Dwayne Allen was the guy that gave us the Fat Boy line. The tight end and captain of the offense out of Fayetteville, North Carolina.
The thing that I like about Boyd right now is just the poise and the confidence that he's playing with. He's seeing the field. He's throwing to the open guy. He's not showing any favoritism to a particular receiver. He's throwing where the defense dictates for him to throw. And that's pretty tough to defend. Then on top of that, he's making good decisions running the football, which just adds to the arsenal of this offense.
McLeod going out. Timmy Jernigan, true freshman, will come in to take his spot. So second down at 6 for Boyd and the offense of Clemson. 3 wideouts to his right. And now they'll move Allen, the tight end, back over. As Boyd set the throw again, and he's going deep. And it's complete. Martavius Bryant, that tall freshman wide receiver, has got a big one. A pickup, a 34.
When they see with the formation trips receivers to one side and a single receiver back to the backside like this, and they see single coverage with a safety here, they're going to take a shot at that single receiver. And that's exactly what they do. One-on-one press coverage, tall receiver, and another beautiful throw over the outside shoulder by Boyd.
That was just perfect.
Yep.
And a first down inside the 30 of Florida State at the 28. Roderick McDowell gets the carry. He's got a gain of 5. So right now, again, the running game is working for Clemson, and that makes everything snap off in rapid-fire succession with their offense. Get yourself in second down and 5 or less. That's the way you want to play it. 49 yards rushing for Clemson so far. And a 4-point lead here in the second quarter. Straight ahead again, this time only a yard for McDowell. Brandon Jenkins is a guy that knocked him off his feet.
Another big third down play right here for the Florida State defense. They've not been able to get pressure on Boyd. Dwayne Allen coming out of the game, so that's one of the key guys he would look to in this situation. This is a trick play right here. They're going to go to the tight end. It's a funny formation.
Down the middle, and is there going to be a flag? Yes, there is. Sam Cooper, the tight end. This will be the second pass interference of the first half against Florida State. Jeff Flanagan's our referee.
Pass interference, defense number 23, penalty, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
See, the problem for Florida State, they knew the play was coming. See, this is a lineman out here. This is an offensive lineman. So this guy that's lined up as a tackle is a tight end. Florida State's not fooled. The safety, Terrence Parks, is in position to cover him, but he just makes contact. I didn't see a whole lot of contact, but he comes over the top going for the ball. I don't think the pass would have been caught, but it's a costly penalty again against the Seminoles.
They said number 23. There wasn't a 23 on the field. It was Terrence Parks. Here's the option. And Boyd will keep it, spins his way for maybe a yard when it looked like he was going to lose a couple. Brings up second down and goal. Boyd has thrown for a touchdown and run for one on a quarterback sneak.
Chad Deal, number 30, checking into the ball game. A lot of times he's listed as a fullback, as a tight end. They like to run behind him.
This time he's on a wing on the right side on 2nd and goal. Just outside the 7. And whistle stop play.
False start. Offense. 5 yards. Still first and second down.
First penalty against Clemson.
Yeah. And the first sign of their offense being stopped. They stopped themselves.
Exactly. So I'm sure that will change the play here. That's 2nd down and goal back out at the 13.
Almost 200 yards of offense already in this ball game with 11 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first half. They've run 23 plays, so it is going about as good as they could have hoped for against Florida State.
Hopkins, Brown, and Watkins all in there as wide receivers. That's Watkins in motion. Boyd throws on the runs, got his man, the tight end, touchdown, Dwayne Allen. It's a well-oiled machine right now. Now, Tony Stewart came up with a big victory in the opening race of the Chase, stamping himself as a contender. Now, points leader Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Jimmy Johnson looking to answer back this weekend. The Chase continues. Sylvania 300s at New Hampshire tomorrow. Coverage starts 1 o'clock Eastern with a NASCAR countdown presented by Napa. We've had a NASCAR race going on here. We're on pace for 1,200 yards of offense in this game. If you like offense, you're in the right place. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our ESPN crew, Clemson, South Carolina.
The guy that hasn't done anything yet is Dwayne Allen, the tight end. He's due.
Throw intended for Allen and completes. And he is rated as one of the best in the country at his position.
He's a matchup problem. I mean, he's big at 6'4", 255 pounds, and he's fast enough to outrun most linebackers. He had 7 catches a week ago, including an acrobatic touchdown in the back of the end zone. They got to try to get him involved a little bit. They've done a nice job throwing to the wide receivers, but he's a real threat on the inside.
See if they can convert the 3rd down. They've been good on that so far today, like they were a week ago. Boyd pump fakes, and he's going to run with it. Taj has got the first down and gets down at the 36-yard line.
That's a big-time play. Now, we've already seen Taj run the ball 3 times tonight. 2 by design, and that was a scramble. But it's a great decision to run. Florida State is running in coverage. They leave a big void in the middle of the defense, and anytime you can convert a 3rd down against a high-caliber defense, you take it. That's a great decision by Boyd.
As you see, with another first down, they stay with the no-huddle offense. And it's Boyd with a quick throw, a little bit low, but caught by Hopkins at the 39. Pick up a 4. Taj Boyd, we talked with him yesterday, and we said, are you going to become more involved in the running game? He said, yeah, I think the more I get to know the offense, and Chad Morris, the offensive coordinator, said the same thing. Also, he's a little bit heavier back in spring ball. Yeah. His teammates had a nickname for him that I'm not even going to say because I like Taj a lot, but he has slimmed down a little bit, and he's got his quickness back. Anthony McLeod is the injured player right now. 100 pass attempts. That's good. That's great, in fact, for Taj Boyd. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, Brad, I'll say it because it was kind of mean, but they call him Fat Boy very lovingly. So when I went up to Taj last night and I said, why do they call you Fat Boy? He's like, well, I was getting up there a little bit, but he's lost about 10, 15 pounds. He is definitely not fat. There's a big, rib protector around him. But his teammates just love to tease him. He's running pretty good out there. No Fat Boy down here.
Yeah, Dwayne Allen was the guy that gave us the Fat Boy line. The tight end and captain of the offense out of Fayetteville, North Carolina.
The thing that I like about Boyd right now is just the poise and the confidence that he's playing with. He's seeing the field. He's throwing to the open guy. He's not showing any favoritism to a particular receiver. He's throwing where the defense dictates for him to throw. And that's pretty tough to defend. Then on top of that, he's making good decisions running the football, which just adds to the arsenal of this offense.
McLeod going out. Timmy Jernigan, true freshman, will come in to take his spot. So 2nd down and 6 for Boyd and the offense of Clemson. 3 wideouts to his right. And now they'll move Allen, the tight end, back over. As Boyd set the throw again, and he's going deep. And it's complete. Martavius Bryant that tall freshman wide receiver has got a big one. A pickup, a 34.
When they see with the formation trips receivers to one side and a single receiver back to the backside like this, and they see single coverage with a safety here, they're going to take a shot at that single receiver. And that's exactly what they do. One-on-one press coverage, tall receiver, and another beautiful throw over the outside shoulder by Boyd.
That was just perfect.
Yep.
And a first down inside the 30 of Florida State at the 28. Roderick McDowell gets the carry. He's got a gain of 5. So right now, again, the running game is working for Clemson, and that makes everything snap off in rapid-fire succession with their offense. Get yourself in second down and 5 or less. That's the way you want to play it. 49 yards rushing for Clemson so far, and a 4-point lead here in the second quarter. Straight ahead again, this time only a yard for McDowell. Brandon Jenkins is a guy that knocked him off his feet.
Another big third down play right here for the Florida State defense. They've not been able to get pressure on Boyd. Dwayne Allen coming out of the game, so that's one of the key guys he would look to in this situation. This is a trick play right here. They're going to go to the tight end. This is a funny formation.
Down the middle, and is there going to be a flag? Yes, there is. Sam Cooper, the tight end. This will be the second pass interference of the first half against Florida State. Jeff Flanagan's our referee.
Pass interference, defense number 23, penalty 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
See, the problem for Florida State, they knew the play was coming. See, this is a lineman out here. This is an offensive lineman. So this guy that's lined up as a tackle is a tight end. Florida State's not fooled. The safety, Terrence Parks, is in position to cover him, but he just makes contact. I didn't see a whole lot of contact, but he comes over the top going for the ball. I don't think the pass would have been caught, but it's a costly penalty again against the Seminoles.
They said number 23. That wasn't a 23 on the field. It was Terrence Parks. Here's the option. And Boyd will keep it, spins his way for maybe a yard when it looked like he was going to lose a couple. Brings up second down and goal. Boyd has thrown for a touchdown and run for one on a quarterback sneak.
Chad Deal, number 30, checking into the ball game. A lot of times he's listed as a fullback, as a tight end. They like to run behind him.
This time he's on a wing on the right side on second and goal. Just outside the 7. And whistle stop play.
Off start, offense, 5 yards, still first and second down.
First penalty against Clemson.
Yeah, and the first sign of their offense being stopped. They stopped themselves.
Exactly. So I'm sure that will change the play here. That's second down and goal back out at the 13.
Almost 200 yards of offense already in this ball game with 11 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first half. They've run 23 plays, so it is going about as good as they could have hoped for against Florida State.
Hopkins, Brown, and Watkins all in there as wide receivers. That's Watkins in motion. Boyd throws on the runs, got his man, the tight end, touchdown, Dwayne Allen. It's a well-oiled machine right now. Some of you may have lost your signal right at the end of that touchdown. We're going to show it to you again. Dwayne Allen's first catch of the day. Good for the score.
Well, I talked about how important it is for eyes to be in the right place. When Watkins comes in motion, I want you to watch what happens to this defender right here, Christian Jones. He's going to get caught peeking inside, and when the tight end Dwayne Allen slips out of the backfield, he's behind. Immediately he's beat. Taj Boyd sees it and throws another perfect pass. The eyes of the linebacker Christian Jones were peeking inside with the motion, and he wasn't in position to cover Dwayne Allen.
And Ledge, every place that Taj Boyd has wanted to put the ball, he has put it on the spot so far.
He's made one errant throw behind Allen the first time in that drive, but everything else has been perfect.
Kick will go into the end zone, touchback. On a sunny day in the mid-80s, and now pressure on again. The Florida State offense. They closed the gap with a 57-yard touchdown pass from Clint Trickett the last time they had it, but Clemson comes right back and answers. There's Trickett's numbers in the first half, and they're very, very good. But right now, the Clemson offense is clicking on all cylinders.
And I'm a little surprised, quite frankly. I thought they would have a tougher time today against Florida State's defense. But so far, Chad Morris and his play calling and the decision-making of Taj Boyd has been just as spectacular as a week ago against Auburn.
Knowles from their own 20. Play action. Trickett on the bootleg throws, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20-yard line by Quandon Christian. The Tigers have got it right back.
You know, Trickett saw Christian, but he thought he was going to throw the ball over his head to O'Leary, the tight end who was open. But Christian just had a perfect jump. He timed his jump perfectly for the interception. Again, Trickett knew he was there, but thought the ball would go over his head to his receiver. And what a perfect time jump by Quandon Christian for the interception.
He looked like a wide receiver on that
sure
play.
Did.
All ACC freshman linebacker a year ago. And he's got his team right at the 20-yard line again. Boy, the Knowles would only like to give up 3 here. That's the way things are going for him. Here's a counter. And no gain on the play. Bellamy's run out of bounds on his first carry of the day. Clint Trickett, his second interception of this young season. And he's put his defense in jeopardy right here. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers, leading 21-10 here with 11 minutes to go in the half. Watkins comes in motion. They fake it to him. Boyd going to throw a middle screen to Ellington. Made the first man miss, but Florida State that great speed on defense. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, started after a 1-yard pickup.
Well, finally, there was a little bit of pressure. Brandon Jenkins, number 49, who's been quiet, one of their best pass rushers, was able to get a little pressure on Taj Boyd that time.
Clemson's 3 possessions, all have taken them the length of the field and produced touchdowns. This time they're trying to go on a short field after a turnover. See if they can capitalize on 3rd down and 9 here. 4-man rush. Boyd in trouble. Going to try to run for what he can. He only got a couple out of the deal.
Yeah, that was good defense. That was a critical defensive possession for Florida State after the turnover. Again, they did a great job of that a week ago. Against Oklahoma, there was an interception by Manuel right before the half. It was returned all the way to the 3-yard line, and Florida State kept them out of the end zone. That was a big stop by the Seminole defense on the sudden change possession.
So, field goal kicking for Florida, Clemson rather, over the last couple of years has been a little bit of a journey. 35-yard kick, and that journey was wide left by Catanzaro, not even close. So that's the only thing that's gone wrong today, and the interception doesn't hurt Florida State at all.
ESPN's College Football, brought to you by Buick. See real stories of human achievement on the Buick Human Highlight Reel at ncaa.com/Buick. And American Airlines. Travel to over 250 cities in 40 countries on American Airlines.
You got to have orange water outside the fountains here at Clemson. Everybody decked in orange. Yeah. That's right. So Florida State, after a missed field goal, takes over at the 20. Thompson hit at the line of scrimmage, bounces off for 2. Andre Branch on the tackles. We check in with Reese Davis. Reese.
All right, Brad, time for SportsCenter right now, presented by Discover Card. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports that the NFL will rule on Terrell Pryor's 5-game suspension sometime within the next few days, this week being in the upcoming week. And Notre Dame slipped past Pitt 15-12. Tommy Rees rallied from a tough start to throw for over 200 yards and a touchdown.
You see Notre Dame and Purdue. That's where we'll be next week, next Saturday night here on ESPN. 2nd down 8. Knowles at the 22. Trickett throws complete, and it's going to be a first down.
Yeah.
It appears, or well, maybe not. Nick O'Leary made the catch. Rashard Hall was right there, and our official says first down.
See, Florida State cannot abandon their running game. They still need to try to work for balance. They've only run for 33 yards, but they've only run it 7 times. So they haven't had the ball or for as many plays as Clemson. But they still have to find ways to run. And the best way so far has been right here, the Wildcat formation with Trickett out as a wide receiver and Christian Thompson taking the ball.
Trickett's way up there at the top of your screen, and Chris Thompson in the Wildcat set here. Takes a direct snap and goes straight ahead, but gets nothing. Malachi Goodman made the stop. Well, time for today's Aflac trivia question for you. Nice move, Duck. What are the given names of Florida State head coach Jimbo Fisher and Clemson head coach Dabo Swinney?
That's a good one.
Jimbo and Dabo. Yeah. Holly came up with this one. This is a good one.
That is.
Think that one over. Maybe only their families know for sure.
And I don't think you can coach anywhere above the Mason-Dixon line and have the name Jimbo or Dabo, can you?
Second down and 10. Trickett back in a pistol set here with Thompson behind him. Blitz off the corner and whistles. We're going to have a false start.
False start. 77 offense. 5 yards. Still second down.
I think both tackles jumped early, actually. That's a 4th penalty against Jimbo Fisher's Seminoles. So that sets him back second down and 15.
Well, 4 penalties, but 3 of them critical. A roughing the punter and 2 pass interference penalties to go along with that false start. So critical penalties.
Fans are going to get into it right here.
Again, second and long, you're thinking get part of the yardage back, maybe half if you can. Now they call a timeout.
Florida State. First charge. Timeout.
We'll take the timeout as well. Just over 7 minutes till halftime. Clemson 21-10 leaders. Well, let's check in right now and get our trivia answer for you. Given names of Florida State head coach Jimbo Fisher and Clemson head coach Dabo Swinney. John J. Fisher and William Christopher Swinney. I did not know that. Second down and long. Trickett in trouble. He's going to fire deep into coverage and incomplete. There were 4 guys there. Rashad Green and Christian Green were the intended receivers.
See, the only problem with that down, but now it's 3rd and 15 on his own 25-yard line.
So he got away with throwing deep back across the field for a touchdown. Not that time. And 3rd and long. And now the crowd is really going to come to life for the Clemson defense. Another timeout. Second charge timeout against the Noles. So John J. Fisher has to call another timeout. William Christopher Swinney kind of happy with the way his team is playing right now. You got any other ones? Come on. Dabo, Jimbo, though. You said
John J. Jingleheimer Fisher.
How about Joker Phillips?
Joker Phillips is a good one. Now Bronco Mendenhall, but that's his real name.
That's his real name,
but we can count that because it's a cool name.
Or Rocky Long.
Rocky Long's a good one.
That's his real name too, I think.
Yeah.
We got to find somebody else's Dabo, Jimbo, and here's Gumbo over here.
And we got Mike Bobo's offensive coordinator at Georgia.
That's true.
That's
true.
Last name.
That's a whole other thing, and he's a coordinator, not a head coach. 3rd down and 15. We just had to tell you whether any of the names other than what we've already got for you. Banks McFadden coached here. That's a good one. Huge 3rd down for the Seminoles, trailing 21-10. Got to be careful here.
Yes, sir.
Trickett's already thrown 1 interception in the shotgun. They're going to play it safe. Thompson, he's dragged down by the ankle after maybe a yard. Brandon Thompson, the tackle.
See, again, I go back to the 2nd and 15. The decision to take a shot deep down the field, a low percentage throw, and now you have 3rd and 15 and a defense that's kind of chomping at the bit. I think Jimbo Fisher made a smart move there to run the football, punt, and hope that Mark Stoops' defense can figure something out here in the last 6 minutes of the first half.
DeAndre Hopkins back deep as you look behind Sean Powell. Not only a big leg, but a big punter at 235 pounds. Hopkins just going to let this one roll. It's going to go out of bounds somewhere around the 23-yard line. So right now, Clemson in command, and they've got 6:15 and all their timeouts to work with before halftime. College football continues tonight, 10:15 Eastern. Your choice of Pac-12 games. On ESPN, Arizona State takes on the undefeated Trojans of USC, and on ESPN2, number 10 Oregon taking to the road against Arizona. College football primetime on ESPN and ESPN2 tonight. Here in Death Valley, Clemson with the lead, 21-10, with 6 minutes and change remaining in the second quarter. Florida State got a field goal on their opening drive, and then Clemson took over, scoring touchdowns on 3 of their 4. As Boyd comes up firing, complete. Hopkins about a 8-yard gain before he's knocked out of bounds. And Chad Morris right now, his offense is clicking.
Yeah, and he's not one to be conservative at this point. Even though they have the lead, you know, he's thinking more points. Let's keep it going. Now, they're a no-huddle, kind of a hurry-up offense, but they're not going at a breakneck pace right now. They're going without a huddle, but they're calling plays at the line of scrimmage.
Ellington, and he's tripped up before he could get back to the line of scrimmage. And only the second year that Chad Morris has been coaching in college. Was at Tulsa last year before coming here. Successful high school coach in the state of Texas, and his first year as a high school coach after they had won 4 state titles. He took over as head coach, won 6 games, and he said, I didn't need to put my house up for sale. There were enough signs out there. I'd pull them out in the morning so my wife wouldn't see them. And then he called Gus Malzahn and continued to pester him in Springdale, Arkansas, to show him this offense. And from that point on, a very successful coach, both at the high school level and then with Tulsa a year ago, and they're putting up the same kind of numbers as they did at Tulsa last year.
And the interesting thing about those numbers was the balance between run and pass. You see the formations and the motion, you think it's all pass, but it's a run-first offense. And last year at Tulsa, they were the only team in the country to finish in the top 15 in both rushing and passing in major college football.
Taj Boyd, a screen pass out to Watkins. Kind of hid behind his 2 blockers and then squirted out of there for a few yards before Vince Williams made the tackle.
Thought another interesting thing about Chad Morris is that because of his high school background, you know, all these young freshmen and redshirt freshmen they have that seem like really young guys to most college coaches, to him, they were old guys because he's used to coaching high school kids. But that helps him relate to them, and he really has a great rapport with these young players.
And the players tell us he makes practice fun, and sometimes practice can be a little bit of a pain on a daily basis. Not for these guys. They have a blast at practice. Boyd over the middle. Whoop, hit somebody in the helmet. Came back to one of the offensive linemen who made the catch. A loss of a yard. And Brandon Thomas with the reception.
You know, we're talked a lot about Boyd as you take a look at this replay. A low throw.
The ruling is the ball hit a defender, making the offensive lineman eligible to catch the pass. 3rd down.
Came off Nigel Branham. You saw it hit him basically in the head, and good reaction by the left guard to scoop that one up.
The skill guys have been great, but this offensive line in the first half has been tremendous. Werner and Jenkins, the 2 ends, have been non-existent on the rush.
Boyd, this time he is pressured. He's going to tuck it and get what he can, but he's short of the first down. Picked up 2. Telvin Smith, the middle linebacker, with the stop.
Good decision again by Boyd. It's not there. Don't force a throw. See if you can pick it up with your legs, and punting the football is not bad. In fact, Chad Morris stresses to his quarterback, end every drive with a kick.
That's either an extra point or a punt or a field goal.
Or a field goal. That's right.
In this case, it's Zimmerman to punt, and he's a good one.
A kick is way better than a pick.
You got that right. Rashad Green, the freshman, inside his own 15-yard line on the other end. Going to use a little bit of clock here before the snap. High snap, handled. And the kick way up in the air. Green tells everybody to get out of the way, takes a Clemson roll. inside the 15 down to about the 12 as we check in with Reese Davis. Reese?
Brad, coming up on the Bud Light halftime report, get you up to date on what's going on in Tuscaloosa. Alabama just got a defensive touchdown. They're up on Arkansas by 10. We have a top 10 battle going on in Kyle Field, and if you don't know Ryan Tannehill, you better get to know him. And also, this was the day of the Holtz May Bowl 2011. Dr. Lou has a very wide smile. We'll see you at halftime.
All right, Reese, that's 3 minutes, 13 seconds from now. Young Clint Trickett in a bit of a hole here after that punt. Remember, E.J. Manuel, a starting quarterback for Florida State, injured last week against Oklahoma on the sideline in a jersey but no pads and will not play. So it's all on the shoulders of this youngster who flares it out, complete, and a nice gain, tiptoe run by Christian Green down the sideline. They're going to mark him out after about 6. There's E.J. He's a big threat as a runner, came in basically as a leading rusher. 6'5", 245-pounder, and that's a lot different than 6'2", and if Clint Trickett's 180,
yeah,
I'm not going to tell you what I am.
That's program weight.
Yeah, that's program weight. Jermaine Thomas behind him in the backfield. Again, most of the rushing yards has been to Chris Thompson as the Wildcat in a direct snap. Here they're in a pistol set. Trickett over the middle and completes it, but I don't think it's going to be might be a first down. Now the ball is out at the end. So fighting for yardage was Green. Looked like he got the first down, and that's what they're going to signal, even though the ball came out at the very end.
The field, his forward progress was stopped.
Yeah.
Well, already Jeff Flanagan had signaled first down.
First down.
Right there, I think they were ruling his forward progress was down before the ball came out.
They signaled first down by the referee.
And his knee was down.
So he's going to have to take it back maybe. His initial reaction was to say first down, but they'll take a look at it. Going to be oh so close either way. And it's short by the hook that hits the links.
Yep. You want to go back to the decision by Boyd to scramble and to set up the punt. They punted him down to the 12-yard line. So even though Florida State has a lot of time, and that you got to be conservative here with Clint Trickett. I mean, they've thrown a couple safe passes. They've gotten one first down. They got a third and short, but they still have a long field to work. So that punt was huge for Clemson's defense.
If your starting quarterback was in there, there'd probably be a quarterback sneak. You don't anticipate that here on 3rd and inches. You get it anyway, and I don't think he got it anyway. Great penetration by the Tigers. It would take a great spot for that to be a first down.
Well, the best player on this Clemson defense is right in the middle. Brandon Thompson, number 98. I mean, he's the nose guard who lines up right over the center, and that's where you try to run a quarterback sneak, and that's the anchor of this defense. Watch Brandon right here just create a pile right where they're trying to run. He just goes to the ground, submarines, creates a pile of bodies, and again, at about 175 pounds, Trickett not able to get the first down.
It was Thompson that created the pile and Shatley that cleaned up. So they did try the quarterback sneak with the maybe 170-pound quarterback, and it backfires. And Powell will have to kick it away. And again, trying to keep it away from Hopkins. He's able to, but way over on the far side. It's good field position anyway at the 37-yard line as we check in with Holly.
Well, we keep talking about the slender frame of Clint Trickett, and guys, he's been trying to gain weight ever since he got to Florida State, but the more he'd eat, the more he would lose. They have finally just recently diagnosed him with celiac disease. It's a gluten food allergy. So they've changed the way he's been eating. They actually, when they have team training table, everybody eats, but he has to get a special made meal out of the back so they can resolve that food allergy. He's actually putting on some more weight. They expect him to gain even more, and his dad told me this morning he's up to 178. That's pretty big for him right now.
That is, for sure. It was a situation where the more carbs he ate, the more he lost weight. And I wanted that problem. I want that problem just for, I don't know, a week or so. Dodge Boyd in trouble. Backpedals to buy himself some time. And I think we're going to have a flag down on the backfield, probably a holding call
Yeah, I think it's going to be a hold, but what an outstanding effort on the part of Sammy Watkins.
Holding, 79 offense, 10 yards, still first down.
That's Philip Price, the left tackle, who was the guilty party there. The left tackle. These two tackles now, Philip Price on one side and Landon Walker on the other side, have done an outstanding job. This time, Price gets caught with the hold. But watch Watkins at the end of the play, this effort to catch the football, coming back to his scrambling quarterback and then keeping the toe inbound.
Wow.
That's tremendous.
Sure is. A highlight that goes for naught. First down at 20 now. Boyd, quarterback draw. Taj down at the line of scrimmage. Brandon Jenkins with the tackle, but again, the clock is going to work. And remember, Florida State only has one timeout remaining.
Well, before that penalty, I think Clemson would have been thinking, let's be aggressive. We got 3 timeouts. We got a minute and a half. Our offense has been on a roll. Let's go for it. But that first penalty on the hold sets them back, and I don't know that they'll be as aggressive now. They're letting that clock go down quite a bit.
It'll be at a minute, basically, on the snap. Boyd, and this time he goes down, and it's Jenkins with back-to-back great plays. We were just talking, Todd was, about how well the tackles were playing for Clemson, and Jenkins, a good one, with back-to-back stops, including that sack. 53 seconds till halftime. We get a timeout. We'll be right back.
Florida State, third. Please reset the game clock to 57 seconds.
Back at Clemson, less than a minute remaining in the half. And Clemson with a 21-10 lead. They got third down and about 6 miles to go here, Todd. They got to just run the ball and use some clock.
Yeah, because Florida State can't stop the clock again. So run it, use as much time as you can. Might not even have to punt the football on 4th down, and you get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. So you got to be very smart here and do the conservative thing, even though Chad Morris, that's maybe against his nature.
Right.
But got to be smart here too. You've got the lead and you get the ball to start the second half.
The Tigers have not led at halftime this year.
That's right.
They were even on a couple of their games. They were down by 3 in one of their games. They're 3-0, so they've had sensational second halves to have the record and the number 21 ranking that they have right now. They've also got 21 points here with 57 seconds to go. And Taj Boyd's going to give it off. Just a little draw to Ellington, and again try to use some clock with 50 seconds to go. And Florida State's no way to stop it. There is basically about 10 seconds difference on the play clock and the game clock.
Now Clemson will probably let this run all the way down and either call timeout or take a 5-yard penalty before they punt the football.
Boy, this crowd came to see if the Tigers could do what they did against the Auburn Tigers a week ago, and right now against the Florida State Seminoles, who haven't won here in 10 years, which encompasses 4 trips basically. They've lost 4 straight here, the Seminoles. They've been very good on the road in the ACC, just about everywhere except this place. And so far, Clemson is dealing all the right cards in the first half. Clemson's had some big wins here. In fact, take you back 2003. There's Charlie Whitehurst at the controls on November 8th. 51-yard touchdown pass coming up to Kevin Youngblood. And he got another deep one. Whitehurst, a 58-yard touchdown. Charlie having a big day against the Noles. They go on to win over Florida State 26-10. Their only win against a top 3 team in school history. And last week, after basically rushing the field, after stopping the longest winning streak in the country of the Auburn Tigers, there was everybody out on the field, and they're 2 quarters away from having another party here in Clemson. Long way to go, though.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of football left. Right now, you've got to have great integrity on your punt protection here. Can't give up a block. Get the snap. Get the ball out of there.
Remember, Florida State got close on one, but it was a penalty as they ran into the punter. And here they come, and this time they hit the punter again. And another flag down. Was it Joyner again? The guy who had the first penalty earlier in the game. And now Zimmerman is down, and he's hurt.
Roughing the kicker, number 20, defense. time expired during the down. The penalty 15 yards from the previous spot will extend the period for one play.
See, this is a totally different situation. Now, certainly you hope the punter's not hurt, but Joyner, you got to go after this kick. And if you get a penalty, so what? Much different than the last time when they extended the drive and it led to a score. I mean, Joyner made a great move. He just took a bad angle.
I don't know how he missed the ball, and then Zimmerman lands right on his right shoulder and his head.
See, your angle has to be for where the ball's coming off the foot, not the body of the punter. And that's twice he's gone into the body, and he could have very easily gotten the ball if he'd have gone to the foot.
That was a wicked landing for Dawson Zimmerman, the senior out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. They're working on his leg. He landed basically on his head, but hopefully he looks like he is in a lot of pain. If he gets up and walks off, that'll be one tough hit that he took. Punters aren't used to getting whacked like that.
And again, Joyner wasn't trying to hit the punter. He was going for a block, but he took a bad angle to the football. If he goes for the point where the ball will come off the foot, this is a block, and it might be a Florida State touchdown because they've got a couple guys there ready to scoop and score.
It was almost like a whiplash of his legs, the way he landed, both his legs. He's walking off under his own power. Hopefully he'll be able to punt in the second half. And that's good to see. It didn't look like it was going to be that good an ending for the Tiger punter.
With one more play, now do you take a shot and throw it, or do you just kneel down and go into the locker room?
They're bringing out a set that would indicate that they want to throw. Three receivers up to the top of your screen and one to the bottom. Dodge Boyd has got a big arm. He's going to roll to his right and try to throw to the sideline, and that'll be the last play of the first half. And Taj has to pick himself up off the Death Valley turf. But a big first half for Clemson. Let's check in with Holly.
Coach, on your last offensive series, you had to call some timeouts. You've been talking to your quarterback. What do you need him to do differently in the second half?
We need to block up front. We're not running the football. We can't make 4th and inches. We just caught we had a missed signal on the one. It wasn't his fault. It was our fault coming from the sideline on one of the timeouts. He's actually played well. He had one mistake where he had a guy open in the flat and just didn't lay the ball over him. And that was the only mistake, and they missed the field goal off of it. But we got to play better defensively. We've given up too many deep balls on our defense, and then we got to get back to running. We got to establish some run game to take some pressure so we can move the ball and score some points. Just got to get our feet back on the ground.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
It's been a problem for the first 3 weeks, not being able to run the ball. This is the first time the Clemson Tigers have had the lead at halftime on their home field, 21-10 our halftime score. As we go to the Bud Light halftime report, Reese and the guys back in the studio. Reese.
This halftime report is presented by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. This halftime report is presented by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Up some yards, but they couldn't run the ball very well either. Sammy Watkins has done a whole bunch of whatever he wants the last couple of weeks. Clemson's on top of Florida State 21-10.
Determined spirit lives at Clemson. Always has. We're passionate, we're tenacious, and we're solid orange. But most of all, we're a family. Sometimes loud, always proud, ever loyal. With a determined spirit that says, bring it on. Go Tigers.
You're watching the ACC on ESPN. At the top of the hill, they touch the rock, and then the stadium rocks with it. The Boyd in his shotgun pocket holds for him, and he throws a strike to Watkins. Touchdown. Boyd takes the shot downfield. Got it. Trickett fires deep. Got a man out there, and he's got him. Touchdown. Boyd throws on the runs. Got his man, the tight end. Touchdown. In the first half. You take a look at the first half statistics, 170 yards for Clemson through the air. And the big telltale sign, and Jimbo Fisher said it to Holly going to the locker room, Todd. They can't run the ball. If you can't run the ball at least a little bit, you can't make your offense work, and it's killing the Noles right now.
It really is. You know, they come into the game averaging 96 yards a game, 100th in the country. I thought they needed to shoot for 125. They're way off that pace, but they've got to get some kind of running game going, take some pressure off of Clint Trickett. They're still in this football game. A lot to be played. Hope that their defense can settle down a little bit.
All right. Well, right now it's going to be Clemson who's going to get the football first to start the third quarter with that 21-10 lead. The only misfire, really, by Clemson offensively, a missed field goal that would have given them a 24-10 lead. Sammy Watkins waits for the Tigers. And the kick coming up from Hopkins. Clemson fans loved what they saw in the first half. What will we see in the second? Watkins is going to take it 6 yards deep and take a knee as we check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, Brad, in the first half, you were talking about that well-oiled machine of the Clemson offense. Their coach, Dabo Swinney, told the team in the locker room they got to get some of that rhythm back. He said this drive right here is critical. They've got to open this second half with a statement. He said we lost our rhythm on penalties, mistakes. They're trying to get those corrected. And one other key note, their punter, Dawson Zimmerman, is out for the game, guys. Spencer Brenton, who is their kickoff guy, will replace him.
That's tough. Boyd's numbers almost perfect for Taj. Watkins 4 catches. And Hopkins likewise. Well, they start from the 20-yard line. They bring Watkins in motion. Now they throw it back out to him. And he got the corner with a little move to pick up 7 or 8. Nice opening play to start the third quarter.
That's a pretty good way to get your rhythm back.
Yeah.
Get it in number 2's hands quickly. It's the second time they've run that play. It looks like it's going to start out as an option run by the quarterback, and it's a quick throw to a big-time receiver.
You'd like him to touch it as many times as he did last week, which is 17, 10 receptions, 7 runs. Ellington runs up the middle for a first down, and he almost squirted out the backside of that, and it would have been a big game.
Now again, remember Clemson's MO. To start a game in the first 5 plays, they take a shot down the field. Now they've got their first down of the second half. This is play number 3. Anytime now, they're going to take another shot deep down the field.
Watkins way out to the left side. And it's going to be Boyd as he rides the running back, keeps it on the option. Dawkins and Jenkins make the stop, but Ty's got 3 out of it. As he looks to the sideline for the call, the skilled players, for the most part, with the no huddle, will look to the sideline. But unlike past Clemson teams, the offensive line doesn't have to look over there. 2nd and 6. Boyd, look out. Got away from 1, and now, whoa,
that's a fumble.
The ball, and it's in the midair, and this is going to be a touchdown for Bjorn Warner. The defensive end. The ball just slipped out of Boyd's hands, and it's an easy coast to the end zone for the defensive end of Florida State.
Well, he did a marvelous job. Boyd did. Watch him do a great job of eluding Christian Jones, who comes unblocked. And right now, Taj Boyd is losing his balance. He's just got to eat that football.
He was trying to throw it, and was his knee down when the ball came out of his hand? Oh boy, that one's close.
Wow. That is, again, it was ruled an interception on the field. And it would have to be indisputable to overturn that call.
Ted Jackson is our replay official, so it'll be in their hands up here.
And the first mistake of the ball game, really the first mistake in 2 weeks by Taj Boyd. And could cost his team 6 points.
Again, we'll get another look. As he's going down, he's trying to throw the football. His hand down to keep his balance. And then in going down, the knee and the ball. The fans here are seeing it on the big screen in the right end zone. They don't get the official call, though. It was ruled a fumble and a touchdown.
Now, again, it has to be indisputable to overturn it, and that is a
it's a bang-bang call.
That is a real bang-bang call.
You see, he's trying to throw in a throwing motion, get his arm going forward. And Bjorn Warner, the sophomore, a Berlin, Germany native. Here's a call.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Wasn't indisputable video evidence. So
I agree with that. I mean, you know, you couldn't really distinguish whether the knee was down clearly before the ball was coming out. And that's the way you've got to go with the call.
They're calling it now an interception. Originally, if you heard the official, Jeff Flanagan said the ruling on the field is a fumble, returned for a touchdown. Now they're saying it's an interception. And the extra point is right down the middle. And Florida State is right back in the thick of the football game, courtesy of their defensive end. So what a huge turn of events here. Another look. That is a lineman's dream. Touchdown, Florida State. Bjorn Werner, the defensive end for Florida State, puts his team back to within 4 with an interception return, 25 yards for the touchdown. The only thing that changed between the replay official and what was ruled on the field initially was first they said fumble for a touchdown, and then with his arm coming forward, they called it an interception. Either way, it's a huge play, and it swings the game a little bit in the Noles' favor right now here in the third quarter. Let's see if Clemson's got an answer. Hopkins to kick. Hasn't allowed much in the return area today because of that booming leg of his. He's got another one that's 7 yards deep this time, and Watkins has got to take a knee again. So Clemson will come out to the 20. We'll go out to Reese.
Brad, we have LSU and West Virginia tonight, so it's time for an innovative look brought to you by AT&T. The LSU defense and what they did against Mississippi State. Look at the clock on Chris Ralph and how well LSU has all of the receivers covered. That's what Geno Smith will face tonight. Also face old Sam Montgomery. He's been known to track down a quarterback or two, guys.
That indeed. Here, 21-17 in this ACC Atlantic Division battle. Wayne Allen, the tight end, sets up as Taj Boyd's going to keep it. And, he is muscled down.
Well, right now, for Taj Boyd and this Clemson offense, they got to settle down because that touchdown by Werner has given new life to Florida State. Their defense actually, right at the end of the first half, settled in, made some plays, and right now they're playing with a little more energy.
Now it's Clemson a little bit offensively on their heels. Second down and 11. Boyd, pressure coming. Down the middle he goes, and he tucked one in there to Jerron Brown. That's a tough throw with Vince Williams all over the receiver.
When they first went to the ground, as you look at Taj Boyd limping a little bit, I thought it was going to be an interception. The coverage was so good by the middle linebacker, Vince Williams, and I thought the throw was a little bit behind. And it was, but Jerron Brown was able to get his hands in there and snatch it away from the linebacker Williams.
See if Taj Boyd is hampered by going down in a heap in the pocket after delivering that pass. And Florida State waiting defensively. Mike Bellamy is going to be a loss of a yard. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, after that mistake by Taj Boyd and the turnover, he came to the sideline and he told his offensive line, look, don't worry about it, guys. He had a big smile on his face. He's trying to keep them up and not panic in this situation. His head coach, Dabo Swinney, told us the thing he's improved at the most this year, not letting one mistake get followed by 3. He's able to get past it. We'll see if he can do that right now.
Second down and 11 for him here. Scrambles around again, has to throw on the run, throws it away.
You're looking at a different defense right now. They started to get some pressure right at the end of the first half. You remember the last play of the half, they knocked Boyd down. He had to throw the ball away. They got pressure the first play of this drive, or the third down play. And right now, the Florida State defense is playing with a different attitude. And I'm sure that Jimbo Fisher and Mark Stoops got after him in the locker room at halftime.
You saw Mark Stoops on the sideline. He's dialing up everything right defensively right now. Third down and long. Boyd time. Deep sideline. And there's going to be another flag. This one back. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, out in coverage.
Well, that's the third pass interference penalty that's gone against this Florida State defense.
Pass interference, defense number 13. Penalties 15 yards, previous spot, automatic first down.
And they gave up a big one there by penalty again.
Bradham was in good position, but he just didn't use good technique. See, that left arm was pushing on the receiver. All he needs to do when he sees Allen look for the ball, he just needs to turn and look and lean into him with his body instead of pushing him with his arm. If he just leans in with his body, there's no penalty. But that push with the left arm definitely drew the flag.
The field judge had a perfect view of that one, so it's a first down for the Tigers. Their own 46. Watkins, they fake the sweep, and Boyd, even though he was gimping around on that ankle a little bit, picks up about 5 on the carry to midfield.
Again, that's a win for the offense. A 5-yard run, a quarterback run, which makes that defense play honest. See, when the quarterback is a running threat, it makes a defense limit the number of blitzes and how creative they can be on defense because you have to account for an extra runner.
Play action. They pick up the pressure. Boyd down the middle. Almost intercepted by Terrence Parks. Had his hands on it and couldn't hold it.
Yeah, Boyd got away with one there because Terrence Parks was reading him the whole way. The safety in the middle saw the eyes of the quarterback and stepped in front of the intended receiver perfectly, but unable to make the catch.
Parks was thinking about how far he was going to go with that in the other direction, but didn't take it with him. 3rd down and 5 now. Clemson trying to keep this drive alive after touchdown by Florida State defensively, and it's Dwayne Allen, the tight end, and a first down. This is really a critical drive. I think you already said that, Todd, but even if they just switch ends of the field here after having that cheap one given up on the interception, it would be good for the offense.
Well, you can see Boyd is settling down again. That was a big-time throw to Allen for a critical first down.
Dodge going to go deep. And what? Oh, in and out of the hands. Had a man and threw a perfect pass. But Ellington couldn't hold it.
Now, that was just a drop because Ellington had the safety Terrence Parks beat. And Parks didn't know where the football was. He doesn't make a play on the ball. Ellington just drops it.
Oh. We have seen some pretty passes today. None much better than that one, but it's nothing but an incompletion. So 2nd down and 10 just outside the 40. Boyd, the quick throw. This one's high, incomplete. And Brandon Ford, the other tight end, the intended receiver that time. Well, they picked up a 3rd and long. They picked one up by penalty. They got another 3rd and 10. .11 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Clemson by 4. And trying to add more. 10th play of the drive.
Brandon Jenkins has cranked it up a little bit. He's as a linebacker right here, 49.
Boyd throws short to Ellington. He can't spin for the first down. He does get to about the 34-yard line. Now you're sort of in Neverland here. Too long for a field goal. You hate to punt when you're down at the 34. This might be a Dabo go. I don't know.
I think maybe you go for it here. Even though Florida State's defense is playing better, it's a position of the field. You might go. Dabo wants to take a timeout and think about it.
Timeout.
Well, remember, the other thing is Dawson Zimmerman, Holly's already told us, the punter has got a big bag of ice on his knee over there on the sideline. So that would mean that Benton, the kicker, would have to punt. Now, he's ready to do so. But, you know, it's one of those things where you bring out your kicker, and if he shanks one or even he gets to the end zone, you're at the 20-yard line instead of the 34.
Right.
You know, maybe you go for it here.
Well, again, you still figure Florida State's offense hasn't done a whole lot against your defense. So if you go for it and miss it, all right, you just got to play defense. The other thing, if you try a field goal from this distance, tendency is to kick a longer field goal lower. Florida State gets a hand on it. It's another big momentum play. I think you want to avoid that.
They already shanked one to the left, and that was a very makeable field goal. This one wouldn't be. So now we're going to go down to the field. We're going to find out. The offense is there. So here's 4th down for Clemson. 1 out of 4 on 4th down here early in the season. This would be a huge one with a 4-point lead and try to keep this drive going. maybe try to draw Florida State offside. That would be the first order of business.
Dwayne Allen's in the slot right here. The big receiver, the big tight end.
They couldn't get him to come offside, and now flags.
That took so long to call.
Number 83 offense, 5 yards. Still fourth down.
Hey, I'm guaranteeing you the pass was going to Dwayne Allen. He was so excited and so anxious, and Taj Boyd was changing the protection. Because of that, it took longer, and Allen just couldn't hold his balance. He was ready to go. Now you got to punt the football.
And so now your kicker is punting. Keep that in mind, too. And also keep in mind that the reason that he is punting is that LaMarcus Joyner has had 2 roughing the punter penalties, or running into the punter and a roughing the punter, that ended the half. Let's see how the kicker does. That's pretty nice. High in the air. Well, it takes a Florida State bounce. But nonetheless, 24-yard punt. He kept it from being returned. When we return, it'll be Florida State on offense, down 4.
ESPN's College Football, brought to you by Audi, Truth in Engineering, and DirecTV. This season, NFL Sunday Ticket is included at no extra charge when you switch. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
National champs 30 years ago under Danny Ford. Right now, trying to hold on to a lead against Florida State. And if you're talking momentum, it's wearing garnet and gold right now. Let's see if Clemson can stop that. Noles offense at the 16-yard line. Thompson hit immediately, and he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Clint Trickett, a redshirt freshman out of Tallahassee. His dad, the offensive line coach for the Noles. Playing quarterback, there's his numbers, the reason he's playing. E.J. Manuel hurt last week. Shoulder sprain on his non-throwing shoulder against Oklahoma. There he is with the cap and the towel on his shoulder.
The good thing for Manuel in Florida State is he gets an extra week in addition to being off today, because the Noles have a bye week. They don't play till October 8th against Wake Forest, so he's got extra time to heal before the next game.
It was only the second offensive play for Florida State in about 50 minutes or so of real time because of halftime, and then their defense being out there. Trickett comes up throwing. It's dropped by Rodney Smith, who has a touchdown today. So right away, the Florida State offense is going to have a 3rd and long situation. And already the Clemson defense trying to get the crowd here in Death Valley into it.
The one guy who's been really quiet for Florida State so far is their Rashad Green, the freshman receiver, number 80. He has been the big play guy for them through the first 3 games. He's up at the top of the screen right now.
Got a couple catches, but just for short yardage. Trickett trying to be heard in the shotgun. Clock winding down to 4. They get the snap. Trickett loads and fires deep on the sideline, and it's caught. What a throw and catch by Rodney Smith. Can't lay it out there any better than that.
The second time these two have combined on a big throw down the field, and the key to this throw was that he kept it outside, away from the safety. Jonathan Meeks, number 5, is going to track to the ball, but because the ball is thrown well outside, over the outside shoulder, the safety can't get there to help the corner. Beautiful ball placement by Trickett on a 3rd down and 10.
Rodney Smith, a couple of big catches today, including a touchdown. That one's good for 41 yards to the Clemson 43-yard line. Smith over 100 yards again, as he was last year against Clemson. Trickett confident after that last throw to dump it off over the middle, and he almost threw it right to Breland, who would have had a free rein to the end zone.
Well, the reason Rashad Green, the receiver, stopped because he ran into the umpire. He was on the crossing route and watching the middle of the screen. The umpire is going to get in the way of Rashad Green, who is the intended receiver, and Green stops. And Trickett throws it, and he's very lucky it wasn't intercepted.
Wilbur Hackett's the umpire. Looked like Buddy Hackett on that one. 2nd down at 10.
He's part of the field.
He is. Thompson.
Avoid him.
Thompson now to take the direct snap with Trickett, the quarterback, up to the top of your screen. And he's just going running right all the way, and Clemson knows this is coming, and the guy that almost had the interception, Breland, makes the tackle.
Yeah, Clemson, after getting burned on that a couple times, has really settled in and knowing that that's all they're going to do. They're either going to run counter or they're going to run sweep or a draw. If Florida State doesn't have anything else off of that Wildcat, either an option or a passing play even for Chris Thompson, it's a little easier to defend.
On the last 3rd and long, Trickett came up with a long ball. And he's been almost perfect on 3rd down. Third down and 9. Trickett fires as he backpedals, incompletes, intended for Christian Green.
Yeah, he's got to just settle his feet. I mean, he kind of felt pressure when there really wasn't pressure, and I'll guarantee you that's what his dad will tell him, as well as Jimbo. Just set your feet, make the read, and make the throw. It's only a 4-man rush by Clemson. He doesn't have to bail out of there so quickly. Step up in the pocket, trust your protection, and keep your eyes downfield.
So punting situation for Sean Powell, who has punted brilliantly so far today. He's kept it away from DeAndre Hopkins. Until that one. I don't know what that was. If that was a rugby kick, you'd like to just throw that one in the trash bin.
Well, he kept her away from DeAndre Hopkins.
By about 40 yards.
Yeah, a little bit too far away.
12-yard kick. NFL Countdown tomorrow morning, 3 hours. Boomer and the gang will have all the news and latest updates from stadiums around the league right up until kickoff. Sunday NFL Countdown presented by IBM and ESPN, 10 o'clock tomorrow. And on ESPN2, catch Outside the Lines at 10, Sports Reporters at 10:30, at 11, Sports Center. Then at 11:30, it's ESPN Fantasy Football Now. Big morning tomorrow morning, as it is every Sunday on ESPN and ESPN2. Clemson at the 30-yard line with a run and an opener for Ellington. Andre Ellington, his best run of the day, and he's all the way out near midfield. Picked up 19.
Nice blocking on the interior by the offensive line. The reason you have so much motion and misdirection is to hopefully influence the linebackers. If you get your blocks on the first level, maybe those linebackers take themselves out of the play, and that was a quick hitter for Ellington.
To the 49, where it's first down. Now Watkins in motion. Ellington again. This time only about a yard, maybe 2. Dan Hicks, number 58, made the stop, along with Anthony McLeod from the defensive line. Down to the 7.5-minute mark now. Clemson had a 21-10 lead before an interception. The only misfire really all day by Todd Boyd was taken back by Bjorn Werner for a touchdown. Boyd sets up deep, goes deep in the middle, and incomplete in and out of the hands of Jerron Brown. Xavier Rhodes made a play on the ball.
Well, Dan Hicks got pressure also. Was right in on Boyd. Forced the throw that was a little bit behind. Watch the pressure from Hicks. Boyd's not going to be able to step cleanly into this throw, and it's high and behind his intended receiver, Brown.
And Rhodes, the guy that made the play. Oof, you talk about getting driven into the ground. Rhodes is still down back on the other end, the defensive back. Might be cramping. They're working on his right calf. Sophomore out of Miami. Remember, it's 84 degrees in the first half on a hot day in the South.
Take a look at the end of this play. Xavier Rhodes looks like he's going to hit his knee right on the face mask of the intended receiver. Kind of drags across the face mask. While he's being attended to, Brandon Thomas, who's the starting left guard for Clemson, took himself out of the game and was replaced by Mason Cloy.
The Rhodes is up. He gets a nice hand from the Clemson fans.
Now remember, they're already down one corner. Greg Reed has not played, hurt his knee in the Oklahoma game. Mike Harris started in his place.
There's Greg.
So now it's 3rd and long, which is a passing situation for Clemson. But I would also, if I'm Chad Morris, I'd be looking to see who is the corner coming in now for Xavier Rhodes. And let's try to see if we can dial up a play to get him isolated.
Looks like it maybe is going to be Terrence Brooks to come in to that spot. He and Mike Harris are going to come out here defensively. Nope, they switched
They took Joyner, the starting safety, and moved him back to corner. So this is Joyner out here. He was a corner and moved to safety at the start of the year.
3rd down and 8 for Taj Boyd. Pump fakes, hit, and face mask in the backfield as he goes down. There's the flag right where Cameron Irving was celebrating his would-be sack. Instead, it's going to be a penalty.
I don't think I've seen.
Foul, face mask, 57 defense, 15 yards from the previous spot. The penalty carries an automatic first down.
I don't think I've seen a game where there's been more critical penalties by a team. I mean, it's not like they've got 15 penalties, but every one of them is critical.
On 3rd down for the most part.
I mean, this is a great defensive stop. They've got Boyd sacked. But the grab of the face mask results in a free first down for the Clemson offense.
Inside the Seminoles 35.
And again, right now, I'm thinking, take a shot. Let's see if we can get the ball to Sammy Watkins deep. Or if we have single coverage on the other side with Hopkins. Here's Hopkins, here's Watkins.
Say that 3 times in a row. First down, Watkins will come in motion, the ball's out. He's just going to cover it for a loss of 5. Well, he was in the right place, I guess.
Well, I think this was going to be a sweep to Watkins. I think they were going to try to get him the football. The ball was snapped before Boyd was ready.
Hit Taj Boyd right in the head.
Yeah, he was looking at Watkins to bring him in motion. And pretty lucky they didn't turn it over there.
Just when they had it inside the 35 of the Seminoles, they're back out to the 39. Make it the 38s. Now they sweep Watkins the other way. Play action.
That's the tight end.
Boyd down the middle through a strike. And it's complete to Hopkins. Marcus Joyner was covering, but it was a good throw again.
Boy, he had Dwayne Allen open for a touchdown if he wants it. Watch Allen on the wheel route. He's going to hit Hopkins, but nobody covers Dwayne Allen on the wheel route down the sideline. Watch this. That's an easy touchdown if he throws it to Allen.
As it is, it's 3rd down and 5. Clemson trying to regain the mojo they had in the first half when they had 21 points. They've given up a defensive touchdown in this half. They're trying to keep this drive alive. Boyd fires. What a catch by Watkins. You talk about snatching a rocket.
Well, this is one of their signature plays. They've got a bubble screen, and that's what the fake is for. Then they've got what's called a spot route that Watkins runs, and you're right, he just snatches it out of the air. You fake the bubble screen, you move a linebacker, and then you throw it right in the hole to a sure-handed receiver.
First down at the 13 of the Seminoles. Watkins again comes in motion. Taj Boyd's going to keep it. Spins for a couple. Christian Jones on the tackle. Boyd's 13 carries. Watkins going out.
And we asked these guys, how long did it take for you guys to realize that this guy was special? It's about 1 or 2 days of summer camp was all it took.
Second down and 8. Boyd going to flare it out in the flat to Humphries. He gets what he can, gets out of bounds. 2 or 3 yards shy of the first down. True freshman out of Spartanburg, Adam Humphries, his first catch. Watkins back in there. We also asked Dabo Sweeney at practice the other day, when did you know? He said we waited to make him a starter the second practice because we didn't want to make him a starter the first practice and make us look bad.
Right, even though they knew.
They knew. So here's a huge 3rd down.
Again, last week, this is what saved Florida State and kept them right in the ball game. Great red zone defense.
Here's the toss to Ellington. Ellington puts his head down, takes a group with him, and I think he's got the 1st and goal. Nice job, nice surge by the offensive line to lead the way. And it's 1st and goal, Tigers.
Well, it's just a quick pitch. Get him out on the edge. They love to run behind Chad Dio, number 30, the fullback / tight end. And Ellington shows you that he's not just speed, he's got some power. He'll turn those shoulders and run downhill for a big first down.
So it's 1st and goal, Clemson. Ellington and a pistol set behind.
Nobody's guarding down here. There's no defender. Take the snap and throw it.
Gotta hurry.
Still no defender.
And now
snap the ball.
Florida State sees it, and timeout taken by Clemson. You talk about a blown opportunity, and then a timeout.
Second charge, timeout.
I don't know if Florida State didn't have enough guys on the field or they just had no idea that Hopkins was down there. But for whatever reason, Taj Boyd couldn't get the ball snapped. I mean, there is nobody on him. And Boyd, I'm not sure that Boyd sees him right away.
A false start. Timeout was called before the action.
You see the flag, but the timeout was called before the flag. And Taj Boyd knows that a gift was in the giving, and they didn't take.
Dabo saying, snap the ball. I mean, that is a gift. I mean, and you saw the guy for Florida State running out there late into coverage before the timeout was called. They had 11 guys on the field, but they had nobody anywhere near DeAndre Hopkins.
To add to the problems for Clemson, though, that's their 2nd timeout of this half. Only have 1 left. At the end of the game, you never know how many you might need. Now, they got in a similar situation against Auburn last week, and they had back-to-back penalties during a timeout. They can't afford that right here on 1st and goal.
If I'm Taj Boyd here, I'm thinking of a play to find my tight end, Dwayne Allen. He's been a mismatch problem in the red zone for Florida State so far in the game. I'd look for some way to get him the ball. He's lined up in the backfield right now. This is Dwayne Allen right here.
1st and goal for the Tigers. Ellington straight up the middle. Ellington for the 1. Bradham kept him out of the end zone. 2nd and goal here with 3 minutes and change remaining in the 3rd quarter. 11th play of the Clemson drive. Taj Boyd will look over at those placards and know the play call. Now can the Tigers get 1 more yard to make it a 70-yard drive and put it in the end zone. Again, the fullback and the tight end in the backfield. But again, it's Ellington, and he's in. Touchdown, Tigers. Andre Ellington from a yard out.
Boy, what a great block by Philip Price, number 79. The left tackle just crushed the edge of the defense, and Ellington was able to walk into the end zone.
Catanzaro in for the point after. 4 touchdown drives of 70-plus for Clemson today. Usually don't do that against Florida State defense. 28-17.
Watch Philip Price just take this whole side and crash it down. Now, Dwayne Allen is going to come out but not really get a block because the block by Price was so good he blocked 2 defenders, and Ellington was able to get into the end zone.
Ellington, who has run hard in this game despite a little bit of a hamstring problem earlier in the week coming out of the Auburn game. And Dabo Swinney says, yeah, baby. Another long drive, both in number of plays and in length. Ellington 59 yards today, including that one for the touchdown.
Coaches told us about Philip Price. He's a former walk-on tight end. He just said he's a big, rugged farm guy.
Well, he's sitting there bleeding right now. That's the way you want your guy looking.
Yeah, that's what you want an offensive lineman to look like. They said he always just never wears shoes. He just walks on hot pavement. Just likes to be a road grader out there. That's exactly what he did. Paved the way.
28-17. Florida State, the entire game against the #1 team in the country, gave up 310. Clemson, with 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, got 330 after putting up 624 last week against Auburn. Spencer Benton to kick. As the cannon fires, the kick will trail over to Joyner at about the 3-yard line. And he broke a couple tackles, trying to get to the edge. Joyner still on his feet. Flags are down. He's across midfield. Joyner still going. Inside the 30, all the way down to the 25, but we have a flag back at the 26-yard line. Great return, 72 yards.
Once again, a critical penalty that's going to negate a good play by Florida State. Their penalties have been ultra costly today.
Instead of deep in Clemson territory, they're going to be back around the 20-yard line, their own.
Two fouls on the play during the return. Blocking the back, number 41. That will be declined. Holding, number 7. That penalty accepted. 10 yards. First down.
It's even going to be worse because they take the bigger penalty, obviously. And it goes back just inside the 20. So pretty much where we call it anyway.
Well, Clemson has had the upper hand in field position this entire game. And so far in this quarter, they've run 25 plays and only 6 plays for Florida State, and they're in their own territory again.
Special teams going to need some work this week. That's the 3rd penalty on Florida State special teams. Just inside their own 20, the Seminoles go to work, trailing by 11 again.
They're not going to get the play off. Play clock's out. It's 5 more yards.
Clemson players looking for a flag. And a timeout was called by Jimbo Fisher, apparently before the play clock expired.
Prior to the play clock expiring, timeout, Florida State. Their 3rd final charge timeout of the half.
So 28-17 with a timeout. Let's check in with Reese Davis. Reese?
Brad, this is a Dr. Pepper SEC conference update. Alabama and Arkansas. This is as pretty a punt return as you'll see for Marquise Mays. Caught it inside his 20. And after this burst of speed, watch him slow down and wait on the final block. 83 yards. He takes it back to the house. Alabama is hammering the Hogs in Tuscaloosa. It's 38-14 late in the 3rd.
Wow, they're pretty good, aren't they? By the way, you might have heard Jeff Flanagan as we went to that timeout say that is the final timeout of the half. And that would be the case had Clemson taken the timeout. It was Florida State that took the timeout. So they have 2 remaining. Clemson still got 1. Jimbo Fisher talking to his redshirt freshman quarterback.
Florida State has 2 timeouts remaining.
Okay, Jeff Flanagan just straightening out what I was talking about. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, the running game for Florida State won't get any easier. Their right guard, David Spurlock, looks like he's out for the game with some knee injuries. In his place, a sophomore, Garrett Faircloth, will take over.
And now a mocking Seminole chant coming up from the Clemson fans. I wouldn't do that quite this early. Quick slant, completes. Christian Green with the catch. Darius Robinson made the tackle. It'll be a pickup of 8. Final 2.5 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Jimbo Fisher hoping his team can find a way to come from behind, erase the disappointment of a hard-fought loss to number 1 Oklahoma. But right now, number 21 Clemson in the ACC Atlantic Division's got him on the ropes. Trick it, nice sidestep, and a nice throw. Complete. Rashad Green to the first down.
Clint's done a pretty good job of this so far. Now, a couple times he's done it too much when he didn't need to, but this is good movement in the pocket. The rush up the middle, buy yourself a little time, extend the play, and then make the accurate throw. Reset your feet and make the throw.
Green, another catch for the true freshman out of Albany, Georgia. Those 2 guys have got a little thing going on, and a lot of the coaches would say it's because they were backups at the beginning. They're used to throwing to each other. With E.J. Manuel out, Rashad Green wasn't a starter at the very beginning of the season. Here's Trickett to throw again, maybe. Flags down. Chris Thompson got tangled up with Malachi Goodman.
Yeah, he's going to get a holding call. I actually thought he did a pretty good job. I mean, he took it on face first. And this is a hard assignment, a running back blocking a defensive end.
10 yards from the previous
He's given up 100 pounds.
Normally, when your hands are inside, they aren't going to call holding. Goodman was trying to turn to pursue the quarterback and got knocked down. I didn't think they'd call that holding because his hands were inside, but it's a tough break for Thompson.
Talk about killer penalties all day long. All Right now, Jimbo Fisher letting Nick O'Leary, the freshman tight end, have it. There's the number, over 100 yards in penalties against the Seminoles. Trickett on a screen, out complete to Rodney Smith. Don't forget, coming up tonight on ABC, should be a dandy in West Virginia. 16th ranked Mountaineers waiting on the number 2 Tigers of LSU. West Virginia and LSU Saturday Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines, 8 o'clock Eastern tonight on ABC.
Not sure that West Virginia and Geno Smith will have ever seen a defense come into Mountaineer Stadium as good as the one they're going to see tonight.
Second down at 14. All 4 receivers in tight in this set for Florida State. The short throw is incomplete, intended for Chris Thompson. And now it's third down and look out.
And again, Florida State has become so one-dimensional with the absence of any running game. And part of the problem is their best runner to this point of the season is the guy over there in street clothes.
Right.
E.J. Manuel is their leading rusher and a real threat to run from the quarterback. Trickett is not a running threat. And this Clemson defense has really dialed up the heat.
Andre Branch and Malachi Goodman and those guys are going to pin their ears back a little bit on this 3rd and 14. Four-man rush. Trickett deep, left sideline, incomplete. Intended for Green. And really 2 guys back there covering, including Darius Robinson.
It looks like there was a flag down.
Defense number 21.
Yeah.
15 yards, previous spot. Penalty carries an automatic first down.
I didn't see the flag.
I didn't see the flag fly, but it looks like right on the 45-yard line there is a flag down. It happened on the Florida State sideline. The push with the left hand. There was the flag thrown. The ball was in the air when there was contact made on the outside by Comac.
So there's a critical penalty against Clemson in a 3rd and long situation.
Check that, Robinson, Darius Robinson on the penalty.
So Florida State still alive on offense. Trickett, the out, completes, and planted the end of that play. Christian Green, Xavier Brewer let him have it, but a 13-yard pickup, another first down.
They still have to try to figure out a way to gain a few yards rushing. Only 36 yards rushing through 3 quarters so far for Florida State. It's very difficult to win big football games when you're only one-dimensional.
Jermaine Thomas is in there in the backfield, flanking Clint Trickett. First down at the 42, but it's Trickett to throw again. Over the top, completes, Green again. And that's another first down as the quarter comes to a close. Pickup of 12. Florida State's got their offense working at the end of 3. They're going to need it. They trail by 11. Good game here at Clemson, South Carolina. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Each team added a touchdown in the 3rd quarter. Still the same distance between the 2 that we had at halftime. Clemson by 11. Florida State driving, though, at the Tiger 30-yard line. Trickett going to loft one to the corner. Touchdown. Wow. Rashad Green. And it's the 5th time these 2 have hooked up for a touchdown this year. Ran into the brick wall, Rashad did at the end of the play.
Yeah.
But he'll take that right now.
Well, they had the extra time because of the end of the quarter to really settle down and talk about what they wanted. They got protection. And Trickett has thrown the deep ball exceptionally well today. Over the outside shoulder to his favorite target. Trickett has thrown 5 touchdown passes now to Rashard Green.
There's the end. That's when you're happy you have a helmet on.
Yeah. They're going for 2 here. Trying to make it a 3-point game.
Clemson thinking about bringing pressure. Now Jermaine Thomas comes up.
And Clemson's checking out of their pressure. They showed blitz, now they backed out.
Trickett to the end zone.
Oh, my God.
Caught, but out of bounds. What a catch by Christian Green, but doesn't count. 28-23. Lead's been cut to 5 on the first play of the fourth quarter. Clint Trickett to Rashad Green for the touchdown. You're watching the ACC on ESPN, where Florida State's just scored to make it a 5-point game.
Clint Trickett did a great job of reading coverage. Now he's going to look right at this safety, and as soon as he sees that safety move, he knows he has single coverage. Watch the safety Meeks move towards the middle of the field. That tells Trickett, I've got one-on-one with my favorite target, and he makes a beautiful throw over the outside shoulder. As soon as he saw that safety move inside, he knew he had what he wanted to his favorite guy.
That's a good helmet. Just a little nick. Todd Green's okay over there as he's huddled around the offensive coaches. Holly says no problem. He's ready to play. Meanwhile, Watkins thought about bringing it out and put the brakes on and takes a knee. As we take a look at our Bud Light game track, Bjorn Warner on an attempted pass by Todd Boyd just takes it out of midair and rolls 25 yards for a touchdown. They get Florida State a little bit closer, but then Ellington capping another 70-yard march for the Tigers, a 1-yard plunge. And then the pass you just saw moments ago, 30-yard hookup, beautiful ball to Rashad Green from Clint Trickett, and the 2-point conversion failed, and that's where we stand right now, 28-23. So now can Clemson answer as the Tigers work from the 20. Allen, the tight end, in motion and sets up in a slot. They're going to throw it out, a screen to Watkins. He's got blockers in front, including Allen.
Well, he did a great job of picking that ball off the ground. I thought that ball was too low. I thought it hit the ground. And Watkins, the strength of his hands are very noticeable. Did he catch this or did it hit the ground? No, he picked it off the ground.
Yep. And the officials, the Florida State coaches are going crazy on the sideline, trying to get the attention of the officials, including Mark Stoops.
The previous play, it's under further review. Running on the field was a catch.
It's a big ruling because right now as it stands, it's 2nd and 3. If this is incomplete, it's 2nd and 10.
I don't think there's any doubt that they are going to overturn this. Pretty much every angle, I think, is going to show that Sammy Watkins.
You know, Boyd's made some beautiful throws today, but he's been a little short on those. That's not the first time that he's thrown that quick screen out there too low for the receiver.
Is that from being too much of a hurry?
Yeah, you want to get it out of your hands as quick as you can, and sometimes you just don't follow through correctly.
It'll be 2nd and 10.
After further review, the pass hit the ground. It's incomplete. It's 2nd down, the 20-yard line, left hash.
That's why we have replay to get it right. So 2nd and 10 back at the 20. 14:27 remaining in the ball game. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our ESPN crew in Death Valley on a gorgeous day and a good, tough ACC football game going on right now. Kind of seesawed back and forth momentum-wise for both teams here in the second half.
Well, as you mentioned, I mean, not only is this a huge game because it's an ACC game, but it's a divisional game. So the loser of this game falls really far behind because you got to expect and hope that the team that wins loses twice. And so an early critical game for both of these teams.
They're trying to get the clock at the right spot, probably.
Please reset the game clock to 14:53. 14:53, please.
Clemson today, 63 plays. They had 92 last week against Auburn. And they want to be in the upper 70s at least. And depending on what goes on in the next 14 minutes, 53 seconds, I would think they would hit their goal. But right now, they had 7 yards taken away and a down taken away by replay. 2nd and 10 at the 20. Taj Boyd, plenty of time, going to load it and go deep. Man's there, Watkins, and it's broken up at the last second by Mike Harris.
Now, this was a well played by Mike Harris. And he's a guy they say that has just quietly done a great job all season. He's starting in place of Greg Reed, but he plays a lot. But see, he sees the ball. When he sees the receiver turn to look, he plays right up through the hands of Sammy Watkins. He doesn't run into him. He plays right up through the hands and knocks the ball away.
If Taj Boyd got a little bit more on that one, it could have been a big-time play. Watkins had to slow down just a tad to wait on it. 3rd down and 10. Boyd fires a sidearm rocket, and he got Allen. What a catch by the tight end.
Great hands. Great body control and great hands by a big man. Dwayne Allen, 6'4", 255. Watch him extend and catch that ball with his hands.
That's a Tony Gonzalez-looking tight end catch. Beautiful. 1st down for the Tigers. Watkins in motion. They give it to him on the sweep. Oh, man. Big hit by Terrence Parks, who planted him after a 3-yard gain. Now, they've been faking that fly sweep all day long. I think it's the first time they maybe have given it to him on that inside handoff. And Watkins will come out. Humphreys, the other freshman wide receiver, number 16, there in the bottom of your screen, checks in. Ellington behind Boyd. Humphreys in motion, and it's going to be Ellington trying to weave behind his blockers, but there wasn't much blocking there. Nice play by Everett Dawkins, the big defensive tackle. A pickup of a couple. Still going to be 3rd down and 4 or 5.
Big 3rd down coming. I'll tell you, even whether they convert this or not, I have been very impressed with the Clemson offensive line. We've talked about Boyd. We've talked about Watkins and Allen, Ellington. But these guys, the heart and soul, the center Dalton Freeman, the right tackle Landon Walker, the other senior tackle Philip Price, these guys have played a pretty good ball game today against this defensive front.
On 3rd down, pump fake. Boyd going long for Watkins, and he's gone. Touchdown, Clemson. He took one play off to refuel. You saw him get a quick drink on the sideline, and that's all the gas he needed. Catanzaro in for the point after. A 62-yard touchdown pass caps another 80-yard Tiger drive. Extra point is good.
Well, it started with the protection. They gave him time again. Taj Boyd has a lot of time to see the field. It's a double move. You saw the pump fake. And Mike Harris, who just made a beautiful play, bites on the pace. And the strength of Watkins is able to get away from him. And another beautiful throw for Boyd for the touchdown.
ESPN's College Football is presented by Cars.com, where confidence comes standard. And in part by Kingsford Charcoal. Get fired up for tailgate week beginning September 26th.
35-23. Bend the kick. It'll come down to the 2-yard line to Joyner. And Joyner's got a crease. And the kicker's going to get him and knock him out of bounds. Are we looking at the next true superstar on the Atlantic Coast Conference for the next 3 or 4 years? Maybe.
Now, this guy, I mean, last week, 10 catches, 155 yards, and a pair of touchdowns. Today, 7 catches, 141 yards, and a pair of touchdowns. And the strength on that last play to just shed the defender, Mike Harris, on the double move was a thing of beauty.
He's a local hero already with the student body. A lot of semi signs. And now Florida State's got its work cut out. Trickett, play action. Throws across the middle, complete out to the 50-yard line to Christian Green as we check in with Reese.
All right, Brad, time for a Sports Center right now presented by Discover Card. Oklahoma State was down 20-3 at halftime to Texas A&M. Brandon Whedon to Tracy Moore. That put the Pokes up. And watch this play by the Biletnikoff winner, Justin Blackman. He was going in for a touchdown to make it 31-20, and he got a little cute. Showboating, fumble, touchback. It's 27-20 right now.
Oops. Trickett throws in and out of the hands and almost picked off. The tight end Nick O'Leary got twisted around, couldn't draw it in, and will be second down.
Well, Florida State is in a pass-only mode right now. You know, they have had no running game. That pass a little bit behind O'Leary.
Unless Florida State can come up with some magic, they're going to drop out of the top 15, and Clemson will probably move into it this week. Trickett, jump pass over the middle, broken up by Xavier Brewer. Nice job to come around the receiver and knock it down.
Clemson switching men in their front seven to keep fresh legs to rush the passer. Their best pass rusher, Andre Branch, was out on second down. He's back in on third down.
Third down and 10. Four-man rush. Trickett's in trouble. Down he goes.
You just have nothing to slow him down, Brad. I mean, you've got no running game. Florida State's had one rushing yard in the second half. One. So you're putting it all on a relatively inexperienced offensive line and a freshman quarterback making his first start. And, you know, you've got some athletes up there. Brandon Thompson is ranked one of the top defensive linemen in the country. And he just found his way to the quarterback, not worrying about run at all.
Sean Powell to punt. Nice kick. Way back and taking it at the 5 is Hopkins. Hopkins down the sideline, out of bounds as he crosses the 25. Nice return. Looked like he took it in a tough spot. And you hear the chants of Nuke again as he gets a 23-yard return.
Well, Sammy Watkins is at it again. I mean, he's been the go-to guy. You throw it to him short, he breaks tackles, and he adds yardage after the catch. But he also has the speed to catch it and extend. I mean, he is a dynamic player for this Clemson offense.
He was named the National Freshman of the Week in college football last week. He might be a repeater this week. Clemson on the ground at Ellington, and may have gotten a yard before the Florida State defense sends him backward. Holly?
Well, the gentleman responsible for recruiting Sammy Watkins here to Clemson was former offensive line coach Brad Scott. He spent about a decade as the offensive coordinator down at Florida State, helped them win a national championship. And when he got back from recruiting, was talking to some of the players around here, he said, hey, guys, I think I may have seen the next prime time. Now, it's too early to draw those kind of comparisons maybe in his career, comparing him to Deion Sanders. But, guys, this is an electric young man. The thing I like, his demeanor hasn't changed one bit on the sideline from when we started to now.
When he scored that last touchdown, he just turned around and waited for his teammates to celebrate with him. Here he is, as we're probably going to have a face mask on Bradham, and we do. And Bradham says, hey, man, didn't mean it.
You know, we asked Chad Morris when we visited with him yesterday, the offensive coordinator, what do you need for this offense to really be effective? What do you need? He said speed.
Personal foul, face mask, number 13, 15 yards to be added to the end of the run. Penalty carries an automatic first down.
Take a look at the end of this play. Chad Morris said we need speed, and we need a quarterback who's a game manager who makes great decisions. And right now, I would say this offense is playing as well as any offense in college football because Taj Boyd is making great decisions, and they've got speed at the skill positions as good as anybody.
You see the offensive coordinator have another good day, and so's his quarterback. And again, Ellington on first down swarmed under, might have gotten a yard. Cameron Irving and Jacoby McDaniel had them all wrapped up.
This is a defense that they're going against today. They came in averaging, giving up only 195 yards a game and only 11 points per game. And that's after playing the #1 team in the country last week.
Alleged the first time that a Clemson quarterback has thrown for back-to-back 300-yard games since Charlie Whitehurst in 2003. Charlie's playing for the Seattle Seahawks in the NFL. Allen, the tight end, who had a crucial catch on the last touchdown drive, in motion. Oh, great pressure that time in a hurry from Cornelius Tank Carradine.
Well, again, that was a good decision by Boyd. You know, Mark Stoops dialed up a pressure. They were trying to throw some kind of a screen that looked like a double screen. And Boyd, when he turned to the other side, realized, I'm not even going to get this throw off. Remember, earlier in the game, he tried to throw one away. He stumbled. It resulted in an interception return for a touchdown. Sometimes you just got to eat the football.
Well, they came in averaging 39 points a game, and they're right on it for the most part again today with 35. There's a draw play to Ellington. Right now, what they're concerned with is they've got a 12-point lead, and we're under 9.5 minutes. Florida State only has 2 timeouts. The clock is a big ally of the Tigers right now. They know it. They weren't going to try anything fancy after that sack.
Well, again, I mean, what's the dilemma for Florida State? I mean, they're down 12. There's still 9 minutes left in the game, but they are completely one-dimensional. They have no running game, 36 yards for the game, 1 yard in the second half, and it's all on the shoulders of a young quarterback and a depleted wide receiving core. So I'd take my chances by playing defense right here.
Clemson with their kicker punting because of the injury to Zimmerman earlier. He's done a pretty credible job, that's for sure. And this time he does get a roll as Green's got to let it go. And it goes down around the 22-yard line. Clint Trickett, it's all on the redshirt freshman's shoulders. As Todd just said, they're on offense when we come back trailing by 12. Couple good games coming up. The Pac-12 on ESPN and ESPN2 tonight. On ESPN, Arizona State takes on USC. And on ESPN2, 10th ranked Oregon on the road against Arizona. College football primetime on ESPN and ESPN2 coming up later on tonight. Time is of the essence for the Florida State Seminoles. Trailing on the road in Death Valley. Trickett flush from the pocket. He'll run and get the first down. And out of bounds. Pickup of 11. But right now down. They need 2 scores.
If Clemson's defense right now wants to just try to keep everything in front, you know, coming into the game, one of the problems they've had is giving up a lot of big plays. They've only given up 4 plays, explosive plays, runs over 10, completions over 20 in the game tonight.
Low snap. Trickett has to go to the ground to get it, and then running for his life and throwing on the run, and he got his man, and it's Green again as those two continue to be the battery for Florida State.
I like this kid. I mean, he's got some moxie now, you know, and I mean, if you know his dad and you talk to his dad, the former Marine, the offensive line coach, you know, he's a tough, hard-nosed guy. And for a 175-pounder, this guy's a tough guy, too.
Well, they had 15 to it. So that's going to be a 46-yard play. There's Rick. Just saw his son take a shot late out of bounds. So that immediately puts Florida State down in scoring territory.
2-score game here, down 12. We've seen a lot of costly penalties against Florida State. That's why maybe the first one that's really affected Clemson in a negative way.
31 plus 15. That gets it down to the 21, inside the 21-yard line. Under 8 minutes to play. Trickett throws complete again, and it's going to be another first down. Kenny Shaw, who took that big hit last week against Oklahoma and was carted off the field. That's his first catch of the day. It's good to just see Kenny out there in a uniform. And that's first and goal. That didn't take long, did it?
No, it didn't. You know, the scramble throw, the scramble for a first down by Trickett, the penalty. This is a tough area, though, now. First and goal just inside the 10-yard line.
Across the middle, touchdown to Shaw.
Wow, what a drive.
Trickett to Kenny Shaw. Jimbo's looking up there doing the math, whether he's going for 1 or 2 here. 35-29. Well, that was 78 yards in a hurry. Minute and 20 seconds is all it took. Dustin Hopkins in for the point after. Yeah, it's good. Quickly.
Yeah, very quick.
Talking about Kenny Shaw being out there. Take you back against #1 Oklahoma in Tallahassee last week. Sandwich between 2 Oklahoma defenders, and you hate to see that kind of look. He was hoping he'd get a chance to get in the end zone and hold on to the ball. But, of course, when they carted him off, you just hoped that he was going to be back in uniform, and here he is.
Yeah, he's in the slot again, and he's going to do a nice job of just a little stutter step move and shake Cody Sensabaugh, the corner, get inside and trick it right on time with the throw. And you're right, it's just great to see him back on the field. You know, after that hit, when we talked to Jimbo Fisher, he said, you know, ironically, or the interesting thing, it was almost like a boxer, like he got hit in the jaw, more so than the back of the head area. And was able to come back. What a comeback for that kid.
After a 78-yard drive of just 4 plays with the touchdown catch. What a game, 35-30. We got a long ways to go.
A lot of time left, so, I mean, no even reason to even think about onside kick. Kick it and hope your defense can come up with a stop.
Both quarterbacks over 300 yards in the air. Sammy Watkins waits on Dustin Hopkins' kick. Hopkins with that big leg. Remember, he won this game on a 55-yard field goal last year in Tallahassee. And again, no chance for a return. He kicks it out of the back of the end zone. Well, Tony Stewart came up with a big win in the opening race of the Chase last week. Puts himself right in as a contender, but now Kevin Harvick, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jimmy Johnson, they're looking to answer back this weekend. The Chase continues with a Sylvania 300 in New Hampshire tomorrow. Coverage starts at 1 o'clock Eastern on ESPN with a NASCAR countdown presented by Napa. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and a great Atlantic Division game of the Atlantic Coast Conference. And now we're down to 7 minutes, 21 seconds. Clemson with the lead. Can they hold it at home? Watkins in motion. They fake it to him. Boyd going to throw on the sideline, incomplete, threw it out of bounds.
Nice job by Werner. He was in pursuit. He stayed at home on the backside of the defense on that bootleg and just kind of kept leverage on the quarterback Boyd. He wasn't going to let him turn the corner and run, and he forced Boyd to throw the ball away.
We asked Dwayne Allen, the tight end, who fancies himself as quite a talent evaluator. We said, what do you think of the defensive line of Florida State? He said, well, I like Jenkins and the German.
Yeah.
Talking about Bjorn Werner, who's got an interception return for a score today. Just a 3-man front. But again, Brandon Jenkins standing up as a defensive end. And now Clemson makes an adjustment. A blocking adjustment for Taj Boyd, who's back to throw, wants to throw a screen, and he has to throw it away. Florida State was all over that.
Back-to-back plays. Boyd had to throw the football away. We saw Werner do it on first down. That time it was Jacoby McDaniel from inside, a defensive tackle who read the screen and made Boyd throw the football away.
Now, the last touchdown drive, they had 2 big third-down conversions, including a 62-yard touchdown pass to number 2, who's right there, the closest to you on your screen. To keep this drive going, they got to pick up 10. Boyd, deep middle, got it. Allen, the tight end, still on his feet. Big play into Florida State territory.
Well, we talked about this guy being a matchup problem because he's big and he's fast. He's fast enough to get into the middle of the defense. It's a cover 2 look, but it's a 2 Tampa look. They're trying to run a linebacker back to the middle coverage, but he doesn't see the tight end Allen. See number 11, Vince Williams, he's trying to run to the middle of the field, but he has no idea where the tight end is on that play.
4th catch, Todd, for him. 3 on 3rd down. Here's Watkins on the sweep. And Watkins gets decent yardage before Terrence Parks makes the stop, but a pickup of 5 for Sammy Watkins. Now the clock is going to work its way down to 6 minutes before the next snap. 3 rushes after carrying it 7 times a week ago for Sammy Watkins. Mr. Do Everything so far.
Well, here's what I think for Clemson. I mean, you got to keep the foot on the gas here. Now, you don't have to go at a breakneck pace, but you need to try to get the ball to the end zone again to try to make this a 2-score game. Even a field goal, it's still a 1-score game.
Trying to let some of that clock wind down. 10 seconds on the play clock. Staj Boyd with Humphreys in motion will give it off straight ahead to Ellington. He's got a 1st down. Andre Ellington, another 1st down run. Holly?
Well, guys, a critical drive right now, but Clemson's without their wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, who, remember, is kind of the security blanket for Taj Boyd in some situations. They're examining his right leg. It looks like the back kind of by the hamstring area. We'll see if they miss him on this drive.
With him out, they've got the big freshman in there, Martavis Bryant. And there's Hopkins, the guy Holly's talking about. He is limping around on the sideline.
Well, you got your home run guy who's still out there in Watkins. And the new security blanket, I think, is Dwayne Allen, because he's the matchup problem, the tight end, for this offense.
1st down, approaching the 5-minute mark. Watkins, they fake it to him. Ellington hurdles his way for a couple. Timmy Jernigan has played a good game, the true freshman out of Lake City, Florida, on that defensive front.
Last week, Clemson, 624 yards of offense against Auburn. I knew it would be tougher. I thought it would be much tougher for them today against Florida State. Over 450 yards of offense against the Seminole defense today.
And 386 through the air for Taj Boyd last week, and he's got 344 right now. Those are some pretty impressive. Those are Tom Brady-like back-to-back games. 7th play of the drive. Clemson trying to eat clock and maintain the lead. This time Ellington picks up a couple.
See, I agree that you want to eat clock, but I think you got to look for points also. Clemson, we talked about, only once in the last 25 years have they won back-to-back games against ranked opponents. Well, they've got a chance to do it 3 weeks in a row, because after this game, if they win today or win or lose, they're going to Blacksburg next week to play a very tough Virginia Tech team. So a real challenge here early in the season for the Clemson Tigers.
Dwayne Allen, the tight end, is in a slot on the right side on a 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, here he is right here.
Watkins up on the top of your screen, number 2, who's been the big man again today. Lloyd, flush from the pocket's going to try to run for it. Didn't get there, though. Picked up 5, but needed 6.
Well, here's the decision now. If they're short, do you go for it on 4th and 1? A field goal makes it an 8-point game, but Florida State has to score a touchdown anyway.
And remember, the last time they tried a field goal roughly in this spot was on the other end of the field, and they missed it by about 60 yards to the left. 4 minutes have run off the clock for Dabo Swinney.
Dabo's looking at the clock as if he's going to let the clock run down and use his last timeout. Clemson only has 1 timeout left. I think he wants to milk as much clock as he can, call timeout, and then decide what he wants to do here on this 4th down play.
Timeout.
And there is the timeout.
3rd. Final charge, timeout of the half.
Well, the problem is you don't have any timeouts left should Florida State somehow get the lead. 4th down and a yard. Let's see, we're about the 24-yard line. And that's going to make it roughly a 41-yard field goal.
Yeah.
The last time they tried one was in the 37 range to the left. Not good. And they've had a little bit of trouble with their field goal units the last couple of years.
I think you go
what are you going to do?
I think you go for it because, again, if you kick the field goal, even if you make it, it's still a 1-score game.
Right.
All right. Florida State has to score a touchdown now to be in the game anyway. So I think you go for it. If you make it, Then you get to keep running clock. You make Florida State use their timeouts and fight against the clock. And if you miss it, you just got to say, hey, defense, it's time for you to seal the game for us right here.
Florida State has used one of its timeouts, by the way, so they're down to 2. We're down to 2:53. Clemson's used its final clock stoppage. There's the kicker, and he wants a chance. And
I just don't know what the benefit of kicking here is.
Right.
I mean, now, obviously, if you make it, then Florida State has to score, touchdown, and make the 2-point conversion to tie, which is not easy. But they have to score a touchdown anyway.
Clemson's got about 25 guys huddled around their coaching staff out there. And they all want a piece of the action. And here comes the offense.
Yeah.
Well, not only the play of the game in this one, maybe the play of the week in the ACC. There are 3 tight ends in there. They come up to the line quickly. Taj Boyd, pitch. Ellington didn't get there, didn't even get close.
Now, they scored a touchdown on that play earlier. The quick pitch off the quick snap. But this time, Florida State's defense was ready for it. And they got penetration behind the line of scrimmage. They tried to snap it quick. They tried to outflank the defense, but a great job by Christian Jones, number 7, maintaining leverage on the outside and forcing that play back inside to where more white jerseys were.
Including Mike Harris, who made the stop. Oh, you want some drama? 2:49 left. 11th ranked Florida State down 5. Clemson trying to hold serve on their home field. And here we go. Trickett to throw. Completes it to a wide open Rashad Green, but did he step out of bounds? Let's check in with Reese Davis.
All right, Brad, getting set for Florida and Kentucky. John Brantley has been much more comfortable in the Charlie Weiss scheme, the new offensive coordinator, averaging over 200 yards per game. Passing, you'll see the Gators and the Wildcats of Kentucky in less than 8 minutes.
Rashad Green stepped out of bounds right in front of the Clemson bench after a pickup of 7. 2nd and 3. Trickett deep and in and out of the hands of Kenny Shaw, who got sandwiched back there.
And you know what? Kenny Shaw, I think, heard footsteps on this, and I guess you can't blame him.
Yeah, that's right.
After what he went through last week, he's open. This is a good throw, and I think Kenny Shaw heard Rashad Hall coming, and he took his eyes off the football and tried to find where Rashad Hall was.
3rd down and 3. Trickett in the gun. They're going to bring an extra rusher. He throws in that vicinity, and Green's got another one for the 1st down. And that's been the battery for these two guys through the first 4 weeks of the season. They've got a special bond going on, a pickup of 6.
So you're just getting close to 2 minutes left in the game. Florida State has 2 timeouts, and you have to score a touchdown.
Trickett throws under duress. This time it's almost intercepted by Cody Sensabaugh. He got a hand on it. That time the pocket collapsed a little bit.
Yeah, Andre Branch got some pressure, and Trickett's not able to really step into that throw, threw it behind his intended receiver, and Sensabaugh almost is there to pick it off.
This huge crowd trying to help the defense of the Clemson Tigers. 2nd and 10, under 2 minutes. Trickett over the middle, and he throws another. Nope, this one's trapped. Incomplete. Intended for Green again.
Well, right now it's 3rd and 10, a minute 53 left. I mean, this is 2-down territory. So you call a play, you want to try to get the 1st down with this 3rd down throw, but if it's not there, dump it underneath, and you got one more down. Will Kevin Steele call for some pressure here?
We'll find out. 3rd and 10. Trickett, flush from the pocket, throws on the run across his body, completes it, but there to meet Christian Green is Breland again.
Nice job by Trickett. Rennie Moore came free on the inside, and he had to get outside to make the throw. They need a timeout to figure out what to do on this 4th down play.
Reese Davis with you in the studio. Jeff Demps going to take aim at the Wildcats of Kentucky coming up in less than 3 minutes. Now, the game is going to start on ESPN News. As soon as we're done with Florida State and Clemson, it'll move back here to ESPN.
All right, Reese. 82,000 in Death Valley. I don't think there's one that's sitting. 4th and 4, Florida State. This is the ball game. And a flag. It was hard to hear.
Jeff Flanagan. I mean, what a huge. We've seen huge penalties. 4th and 4, you call timeout, you call the play you want. The quarterback scramble is still a possibility on 4th and 4. Now it's 4th and 9. A completely different situation. Advantage Clemson defense.
Listen to this crowd. Trickett. Does he have a trick up his sleeve? 4th and 9. Pressure. Down he goes. When they absolutely, positively needed pressure on the quarterback, the Clemson Tiger defense got it.
And again, the difference between 4th and 4 and 4th and 9. Pin your ears back and go get the quarterback. 4th and 9. They just collapse the pocket. And Rennie Moore, who I think has played an outstanding game today, gets there for the sack.
Branch was coming around the corner, Moore up the middle. Remember, he hurt his shoulder early in the game. They put a sling on it, and he just put a sling on the quarterback of Florida State to ice the game. Florida State can only stop it once. Taj Boyd takes a knee, and he's still limping around. He's going to be sore tomorrow, but he's going to be happy again tomorrow. And so will this guy.
Oh, boy.
They'll be 4-0.
Florida State, 3rd.
Back-to-back wins over ranked teams. Something that everybody questioned whether or not Clemson could do. That's been a heck of a game, partner.
This has been. I think right now what Dabo Swinney and Chad Morris are trying to figure out is, can we take a knee a couple more times and run this clock out? Or do we have to run a play? Do we have to do something different? Or can we take a knee? So they're down there trying to figure out the math right now. Florida State out of timeouts, cannot stop the clock.
Again, they'll cover up their quarterback with 1:34. And they're going to waste a little time and then take a knee. Taj Boyd bought himself about 3 seconds. Todd mentioned this a little bit earlier. Back-to-back wins now over Auburn and Florida State. And number 13, Virginia Tech, is in their sights.
Well, and the big difference is that right there.
Yeah.
At Blacksburg is no picnic.
Doesn't look like at Georgia Tech's going to be a picnic right around Halloween either, the way they played the first 4 weeks of the season.
I'll tell you what, this place right here is about as good as it gets in college football for atmosphere, for energy, electricity.
Boyd takes another knee. National champs 30 years ago. Now, you know they got a long ways to go, but they are 4-0. Who knows?
Dabo just got a Gatorade bath, and appropriately it was orange.
In 81, Clemson ended a long winning streak of Georgia and went on to win the national title. In 91, they beat defending champion Georgia Tech to end another long string. In 2011, they beat the defending champion Auburn Tigers last week, and now they're going to back it up with a victory over an 11th ranked Florida State team that will lose its 5th straight in Death Valley. And now they're going to loft the ball and hope that it runs out. It did. Time's run out on the Seminoles, and let the party begin in Death Valley again. Back-to-back losses by Florida State now as they drop to 2-2. And much like the scene a week ago after the victory over Auburn, everybody is going to come out on Frank Howard Field. Let's go to Holly. I think.
Everybody's running the same.
Hey, Coach Swinney, you've been telling your players all week that nobody thought you could do this back-to-back big games. What did it take for your team to settle down and do it today?
Well, we got a lot of heart. This team has each other's back. They got my back, they got the coach's back, and they have each other's back. There's a lot of love on this team. It's great to see us win the game on defense. Couldn't be more prouder. Hey, and they say we can't do it. What they say now? What do they say now? Out of baby, Ted. Way to get it done.
Well, Tosh Boyd, you have another terrific back-to-back propellant in its passing. How are you able to be so calm out there today?
You know, my teammates, they give me a lot of support offensively and defensively. And, you know, first thing I just had to do is thank God. You know, he gave me the opportunity to come out here and play. And I want to thank everybody and all the fans and everything.
You get a home game next week in Virginia, your hometown. How are you going to perform?
Coming home, baby. It's going to be a good one. You know, we're going to enjoy this one, but we got to get back to work Monday.
Thank you, guys.
Tosh Boyd, 344 yards and 3 touchdowns after 386 and 4 a week ago. Clemson, 455 yards of offense, 37 minutes in time of possession, and they win back-to-back games over ranked teams for the first time in forever. 35-30, our final score. That's going to wrap it up from Clemson. For Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our entire ESPN crew, Brad Nessler saying goodbye from Clemson, South Carolina. Let's join Mark Jones and Florida and Kentucky. Jonesy.